Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bargain Bin, a show about speedrunning games all under $20. I'm your host, Midnight Vesper, and if you're new here, here's how this whole thing works. For more current/digital games, we're going to be using digital stores like Steam, GOG, itch.io, Ubisoft, etc. to look at the list/MSRP price. For retro games, we use an assortment of retro websites to look at the loose price of the game. We do not count any sales or discounts as they vary from time of purchase. Quick announcement, just a reminder, Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 online will be January 9th to the 16th. Visit gamesdonequick.com for more information and detailed dates on the event. And as we slowly wind down this 2021 year, as we approach the last days, I thought we'd have The Last of Us. You know, the last. So for today's Bargain Bin, I brought along Anthony Caliber to showcase the wonderful PlayStation Classic for, well, to be honest, the last episode of the Bargain Bin for 2021. I'm excited for 2022, but right now let's focus on The Last of Us. How are you, Anthony?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. I have everything kind of scripted out, and then I just kind of went crazy at the end there.
Got a little worried because you said 2022 and it makes it sound like it's 2020 as well. 2022.
Oh no.
So that got me a little scared, but that's all right.
I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, that's all right. Look to the future with optimism. That's all right. All right. So hello everyone. I'm Anthony Caliber and my commentator is, where is he?
Dino Davino. Hello everyone.
Dino.
Hello. Happy holidays and all of that stuff. And yes, let's hope that next year is a little bit better than the last two. Anthony and me have not done this run, would you believe, for 2 years.
Yeah, about that 2 years. Felt like half a year, but it's been 2.
Yeah, we're getting the band back together.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get going here. Last of Us, new game on grounded mode. Hardest difficulty. I'm gonna, just in case the game crashes, I'll make this under a save file, because that can happen. Quick few things. We are running on a PlayStation 4 on the original unpatched version. Latest patch kind of messed with the AI a little bit, so we can run it on the original. Now I gotta say, PlayStation 5 unpatched is a little faster, but all the lighting and the water are completely broken to the point where when I'm streaming it for speed, I gotta give like a seizure warning, so I'm not gonna make you guys experience that. Playing on this version in console combination is gonna lose about 12 or 13 seconds compared to that, but yeah, I don't wanna accept you guys to that. All right.
So my job on this run is not to explain gameplay, because I'm not really much of a gamer. But as the opportunities arise, I'll try to just fill you in with the story. That's my job here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So timer starts when we skip the cutscene in 3, 2, 1, go. And we get off, as you'll see, to a blazing fast start.
So, as is the law with all video games, we start with the cutscene. Funnily enough, the opening cutscene of this is not that long.
What time is it?
Probably about 3 minutes or something like that. But this is Sarah. She's the 12-year-old daughter of the single-parent Joel. In the opening cutscene that we just kind of skipped over, she stayed awake really late at night to give her dad his birthday present, a watch. And yes, it's the early hours of the morning, and something's going wrong, we think.
Yeah, something. And I'm sorry, this is as fast as we can move. Sarah hasn't learned how to sprint yet. Sorry. But yeah, this is obviously a very story-driven game, but the gameplay ain't too shabby either. You think Last of Us is a speedrun. That should never be the case, but turns out it's really, really good. At least I think so. I'm a little biased, but I think it's pretty good.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Does anyone come in here?
Okay, now we're at the mercy of the game for the next, like,
Don't go near
4 or
the
5
door.
minutes.
Stand back there.
Let's see, we should talk about Grounded a little bit. So Grounded, as I mentioned, is the hardest difficulty. If you were to play it on PS3, you actually have to buy this difficulty. But on Remastered, which is what we're playing on, it's included for free.
Jimmy?
Dad?
Honey, come here. Come here.
It's Jimmy. Everyone say hi to Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
And
wants a hug.
nobody ever describe these people, you know, like that kind of Jimmy person as a zombie. They're not zombies.
No.
Ju-
Sarah.
It is cordyceps, which, freaky enough, is actually a real-life thing. Except there's no species of it that affects humans. This is kind of what would happen if there was. It, in real life, affects, like, ants and bugs in, like, South America and stuff. But it works pretty much the same way as it does in this game.
Holy shit.
Works its way to the brain, controls its host, spreads it to others. It's gross. Yeah.
Can we just please go?
But Grounded. Grounded is the toughest difficulty. What specifically about it? First of all, the checkpoints are spread much further apart. They, I'll use an example. The hospital level is the final level in the game. On easy mode, if you die, like, right at the final door, where you would otherwise be safe on the other side of it, it would checkpoint you near that doorway with some of the enemies taken out. On Grounded, it sends you all the way back to the bottom floor no matter what, from the very beginning. So the checkpoints are much more brutal. According to their Wikipedia, enemies do like triple damage compared to normal mode. Off the top of my head, with full health, 3 punches and you're dead, 2 melee weapon hits and you're dead, 2 revolver shots and you're dead, 3 pistol, 1 shotgun, 1 shorty, you'd be dead. 1 El Diablo and 1 rifle would leave you with like that much health. And you need to memorize this stuff because as part of Grounded, the heads-up display on the bottom right that shows you how many bullets you have in a magazine or how much health you have or how many hits you have left in a melee weapon or shiv are all gone. They're not there. As well as listen mode, where you can see enemies through the wall. That's disabled as well. And crafting ingredients like that are spread throughout the world. There's a lot less of those too. On easy mode, the best example for that is when you first get to Billstown, or when you first meet up with Bill in his armory. There's like a shelf full of crafting ingredients, full thing of blades, binding, rags, alcohol, explosive, sugar, whatever you need. Like full ingredients full of that stuff. On Grounded, there's a quarter of one of them.
Keep driving, Tommy.
And to my knowledge, only a couple enemies drop crafting ingredients. On easy mode, if you do an area over and over enough times, they'll eventually just drop bombs. No way you're gonna get that on Grounded. One more thing is, as a compensation for how much harder it is, your guns also do a little bit more damage. On easy, normal, hard, or survivor, let's see, a pistol would kill an enemy in 3 hits, revolver and rifle in 2 hits, and an arrow would down an alerted enemy in 2 hits. On Grounded, a revolver and rifle kill in 1 hit, a pistol kills in 2 hits, and the bow kills in 1 hit no matter who you're shooting at, except a clicker. What else is there? Am I forgetting? I'm sure I'm forgetting things. But I'll remember them as we go along. That's the basics of Grounded. It's a lot more brutal.
I know we were talking about this kind of during the pre-show, but when you're mentioning the amount of damage that the weapons do and everything else along those lines, it was kind of talked about before the show started that when you have to have certain amounts of bullets or ammo or this or that, you know, how much of that does play a factor into this particular run?
Oh, it plays a huge factor. That is something I forgot to mention. You will only get ammo dropped by enemies on Grounded if you're under a certain amount. So in order for an enemy to drop ammo, shotgun or revolver, you have to be at 2 or less. If you have 3 or more, you'll never get a drop. Rifle, you need to be at 0. Pistol, you need to have 3 or less. And that's you never get arrows dropped anywhere. You just pick them up if they're in your way. And yeah, we completely rely on that feature for the success of this speedrun.
One of the balancing acts that you have to do in this game is that just occasionally you'll get more ammo drops than you expected. and it's tempting. You're not really quite sure what to do. Do you pick it up or do you leave it? Because if you pick it up and you've got more ammo than you would usually have, RNG being RNG, there's a chance that you may not get a pickup later on when you really need it.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes it's more beneficial to just leave ammo on the ground. Okay, the only strat here, these NPCs are all random. And they're running backwards. I don't know why. You need Tommy to push you here. Tommy's the only consistent one. So we need him to push us. This guy's gonna block us. I know it's hard to believe, but all these people are sober. God, look at it.
It was just that one guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, Naughty Dog's like, look how many people we can fit on the screen, and we're just like, none of this movement is natural. They're just fusing through each other. That's all right, because you can lose time there. Tommy got ahead of me, and he runs faster when you're ahead of him, so we lost like 2 or 3 seconds there. But that's okay. Right here is a small little thing. You got to keep the camera on him. Otherwise, he like disappears behind you, and one time he even despawned completely. Only happened once though. It's all good enough.
Well, might as well describe the cutscene that's coming up here because we're just a short run away from it. Right, so Joel is carrying the injured Sarah. As he gets down here, it's going to reach a certain point where the cutscene triggers. He gets stopped by a soldier, and the military have been sent into the town to make sure that nobody leaves because obviously they're all sick and infected and dangerous. And despite Joel's pleas, this soldier just opens fire. Now, before he can take another shot, Tommy arrives, as promised, and kills the soldier. But unfortunately, Sarah has been hit, and she dies in Joel's arms, which is very, very tragic. We've just skipped 20 years. And this lady here is called Tess. Joel and Tess operate as smugglers in the Boston quarantine zone. We are looking for a guy called Robert, because one of the things that we do is we trade weapons, arms. And this guy, Robert, not only is he reneged on an arms deal with these two, he also sent a couple of goons to try to kill Tess. Not successfully, she dealt with them. So now we're going to find Robert and renegotiate. We're going to kill him. That's what we're going to do.
That's Joel and Tess's version of a renegotiation.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't like to admit this, but not much happens right here for the first 20 minutes of the run. And then again for like at around the 37 or 38 minute mark. So there is unfortunately some downtime here. There's some very like tiny nuanced things when we get indoors again, but otherwise, yeah, a bit of a slow start. I'm trying to think what else. Throughout the run, we will be picking up parts and supplements used to upgrade Joel and his weapons. With the supplements, we pick up 50 to upgrade weapon sway in the hotel chapter in the elevator shaft, and we pick up 75 parts to upgrade the right holster at the dam. And those are the only things we upgrade.
Now, an interesting feature of this game as well is the ingredients that you pick up for health kits, bombs, smoke bombs, Molotovs, all that kind of thing. They're interchangeable. So you have to think very carefully. Obviously, for this grounded run, it's all very specified anyway. But if you're playing this game more casually, you have to think about what ingredients you will use for what. So you may decide that you're going to craft a health kit. That could leave you short on a Molotov, or vice versa.
Yeah, it becomes a little complicated when we get to like the downtown chapter. We do actually, hold on. Need to focus, getting ahead of this guy. We have a certain name for this guy that I can't mention on stream, but we just need to get past him.
The truth.
And sometimes when you get past him,
Hey, you stay out of trouble.
can.
The military's gonna be out in force soon.
Oh, man. Sometimes he can launch you down the whole hallway. Didn't happen. That's okay, though. It can potentially save you like 10 or 12 seconds.
I don't like it.
But
Find him before the fire.
that's all right. It's hard to get. It's random if you get it or not. Okay, now throughout the run, we'll also be doing restart encounters. And different restart encounters in different areas will give you different benefits. Like right here, Tess is the only one that can make the section proceed by beginning to push this thing. That restart encounter made it so she was right in front of us and already talking to this guy instead of waiting for her to make her way into the doorway. Other restart encounters skip like in-game cinematics, and with the case of another area, a restart encounter also gets you some of your supplies back. But that'll be for later. But yeah, my favorite thing about Grounded really is when it's all said and done with the bombs and the crafting ingredients, you have absolutely nothing in your inventory. Everything gets used to its fullest potential. And it's one of those things, you need to plan it all ahead of time, where it's like, yeah, it'd be super convenient to use 2 bombs in this areas, but I can more beneficially use these bombs much later on. So you replace the convenient bombs with ammo, and yeah, it just becomes like, it'd be nice to use a bomb here, but I absolutely have to use a bomb in another area. So you make do in those areas.
And just going back to those restart encounters, there are 2 specific points in this game where you essentially have to do restart encounters to prevent a couple of game bugs, which have never been ironed out.
No.
Come on.
When it comes to like the crafting, how hard was that to actually like put into the route?
It was pretty tough because I feel like at times in the past we would just craft bombs in places that were convenient, but then as times started getting more strict, we were like, okay, we should never like ever be doing nothing in a speed run. So it became, you know, we got to craft these things when we're otherwise just waiting for a companion to do something. Like right here, I can't just stop moving for any reason. It would lose time. So you need to just wait until literally you're just waiting for your companion to do something. But yeah, there's a whole thing of like bomb picking up and crafting, then picking up another bomb. I'll talk about that more when we get to the downtown area, because that's when it really starts. We do a little bit something called inventory manipulation. This is a glitchless category, but it's one of those things where it's kind of like glitchless with an asterisk next to it, because when you're playing this game fast, it's kind of impossible to not come across some form of glitch, like an enemy despawning. If you kill another group of enemies in the same area quietly, they'll just despawn.
Better keep your eyes and ears open.
We do a lot of spawn preventing, where it would otherwise spawn in an enemy in this spot, but if you do this one thing, it never spawns in.
Damn ceiling's falling apart. Be careful.
There's also a lot of times where you can soft lock the game, so you have to do restart encounters and stuff. I love this game to death, but it's very, very, very broken when you're playing it fast. Okay, we're getting to our first enemy encounter. It's about time. And this is all planned ahead of time. We have 5 pistol bullets right now. There are 3 enemies right here, and we're gonna headshot all 3 of them. And we'll be leaving this area with 2. If it goes well. So here we go.
How you want to handle it?
1, 2, 3. And there we go.
Sweet.
That's all of them.
That's always a relief to get past there.
Yeah, that is a lot tougher than it looks. You have to have been speedrunning this for years to get the muscle memory to get those shots right.
Yep. I don't think we explained who the enemies are. Dino, how about you do that?
Well,
What are those things?
Yes, so the infected, we have a number of different stages. The ones that we just saw there were called runners. That's kind of the early stage of the infection. After that, we get stalkers. which are stalkers are the worst. They hide,
Pass it to me.
they ambush. Yeah, they're just nasty. Clickers, despite the fact that because they are the third stage, you think that they're going to be more difficult, they're actually not. You know, the clickers, if they grab you, you're dead. But they're not very clever, you know. They just kind of wander around, and if you get your shots on them, you can hit them, you know, you're basically fine. After that, we get the big boys, the bloaters, which are huge, almost indestructible things. They are the bosses, really, of this game.
Yet they're in the game more than stalkers are.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I'm kind of glad about that. Stalkers really are the worst.
Factions-wise, there are far fewer, sorry, in this game than there are in Part 2. We don't really have anything beyond a group called the Hunters, who we'll meet later on. I mean, obviously, we don't like the Fireflies. Oh, are we talking about the Fireflies yet? I can't remember.
No, we haven't. That's who blew up that truck in the beginning.
Yes, the five. Well, we might as well mention them now because we do have a bit of downtime. In this world of The Last of Us, we have a rebel group called the Fireflies, whose stated aim is to restore government. They just want to get things back to normal. But what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to put it in a non-Dino gets banned kind of way. They're rubbish.
They're rubbish.
Yeah. They're demoralized, they're inefficient, they use tactics which are pretty close to terrorism, really, because that attack on the checkpoint that we just saw a few minutes ago, it was just indiscriminate. There were civilians there as well. So yeah, they might have good intentions, but they're not the brightest buttons in the button box.
So I have to point out, chat was really enjoying. I saw people say squat day, leg day for Joel.
I'm looking for Ron.
Yeah. I don't have the chat up. I have it on my phone here, but I forgot to put it on the screen. That's okay. Yeah, when inclines, whether it's a ramp or stairs, breaks this game completely, especially in the combat. So yeah, if you like crouch on stairs over and over, he does it really, really quickly. And what's worse is if you're swinging a melee weapon at an enemy that's higher than you, like height-wise on stairs or a ramp or something, like you'll swing at them, but
Our beef isn't with
they don't
you.
react to it,
Just won't
so they
roll.
can just punch you right after. It's pretty annoying.
Leave now.
Elevations
So that was-
elevations work in your favor if you're like above them. Yeah.
So that was not for swag then.
Get your dumb ass out of here.
That one was. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, here we go.
ready?
We're finally getting some action here. Okay.
Cover you.
So because
Give
we
me
have 2 pistol bullets, this guy will always drop 3 right away. He has never not dropped 3 in my entire life. The one constant in this run. So now, yeah, we headshot that guy, we body shot and punched the other guy.
Give me your hand.
So now we have 3 going into this next area. Now this area is kind of unique. There's a locked door that leads to the next section,
There you go.
and one of them has the key for it. The one that has the key is the guy that you kill last. Certain areas you can like run past everybody, and other areas you have to kill everybody. This is one of those spots where you have to kill everybody.
And just to clarify, by the way, what Anthony said there, the guy that you kill last, that's not a specific guy that you kill last, it's whoever. Whichever one of these 4, the last one that you kill, in whatever order you do it, he will be the one that drops the key.
Spread out. Make sure no one's creeping
Yep.
around in here.
So the last guy we want to kill is the one closest to that door. So, let's see what happens. Perfect.
Smooth, yes.
Right, I like to have 3 going in here, but 2 is fine. We'll get ammo dropped by these guys. We want to use as little ammo as possible, but also go fast. There's a fine balance between it.
So how hard is it to do headshots in this particular game?
Quite, especially with the pistol. The registration for it just is not very good. All right, I'm gonna wait here for a second. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. I'm gonna take a little bit of time out to grab a med kit. Normally I would just hop down here and continue, but you get one try only. I'm not taking any chances. Because if a run is perfect, we don't use a med kit this entire run. Well, we do, but that's because we like purposefully take damage and then heal up right away.
There's our boy.
But we don't have to do that. It saves like 4 seconds. But that, again, that's for later. Just playing it safe there. That's the kind of,
Cocky son of a
you know, marathon runs.
This out.
Anything can happen, so you just take an extra level of precaution. All right, the wharf. We don't have to kill anybody here. We're gonna go quiet. Even though we're sprinting, this is quiet.
Yeah, well, we lost our contact from the north.
Get a brick. Stop sprinting. Start sprinting again.
Left out there to sell us stuff.
We didn't get alerted. I'm gonna take a wide turn around this guy. When you get alerted by that guy, he doesn't attack you. He just runs to the exit, which is that door, but we were ahead of him. So he wasn't gonna hurt us. All right, that was good. That was really good.
Put your gun
Very
down.
nice. And cutscene alert coming up. So we're just going to chase this guy, Robert, for a little bit here. We catch him. And he's dead. He and his ridiculous ponytail, they're gone. You don't mess with Tess, do you? Which is the point. This is when Marlene appears. Now, she's the leader of the Fireflies, this resistance movement that I mentioned. Robert sold the guns to her, which is a bit naughty, but she's not going to just give them back. She'll make a deal with us, okay? She wants something smuggled out of the city, and in return we can have the weapons back and a lot more. We don't know what we're smuggling yet, but we're just gonna follow her and find out.
He was also shot in the stomach, but that doesn't really come back in the gameplay at all.
No.
There was a
Gotta
part of me
follow
that
her.
there was a part of me that missed what that ladder was and thought it just randomly appeared.
Oh, yeah, Marlene has to drop it, but we actually did a strat there. And that strat was when Marlene drops the ladder, you have to stand right behind her, otherwise Tess would climb up second.
This way.
And companions are very, very forceful in their decisions to go ahead of you. Okay, I want to point out one thing. We have a full thing of blades and binding, but we didn't pick any of them up. When you pick up your first of something, be it a shiv or a bomb, if your inventory is empty when you pick up your first of whatever it is, you're given the crafting ingredients to craft another one. Just keep that in mind, because we're going to use that to our advantage later. All right, but here's the
That's
last
the way out. Go under the bridge.
stretch of enemies before there's a little bit more downtime.
Can sneak by them.
Like after we're done with this, the next thing I think about is the downtown
We'll
fight,
see how it goes.
which I think is like 10 minutes away from now.
And after we've done this little bit of combat here, we will have the first example of using crouch walk. I just need to get past these soldiers. Perfect when that soldier is at the top there.
Not a scratch. This is a damageless run so far. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
There we go. Luckily,
Okay,
my
so-
desk is made of wood. All right.
So Joel is now going to crouch down to the floor and move forward because he can't sprint at this point. He can't even jog. But if he does that, it's quicker than walking. Also, slightly painful for a man of his age.
The place is right
I
ahead.
know. It's never mentioned how
yeah.
old. It's never mentioned how old Joel is, but he's anywhere from 48 to 50 years old. So, yeah, if you really like take a look at how they're walking here, it's just my back hurts just from watching.
Yeah.
Well, we
right.
did have Joel do a lot of cardio earlier, so maybe that was just preparation for all of us.
Yeah.
I think you're probably right.
Joel, give me a hand.
Right, so here is the cargo that we're smuggling. This is 14-year-old girl called Ellie. She's got to be taken to the Capitol building, which is outside the QZ, still in the city, but it's outside the QZ walls. We have to meet a contingent of Fireflies. Now, in that cutscene that we just, skipped over there, we learned that Tommy, that's Joel's brother, you remember from the intro, he used to be with the Fireflies. Marlene holds him in high regard, which is why she kind of entrusts Ellie with these two smugglers.
Up there.
Now, so whereas Tessa's gone with Marlene to go and see the weapons, we're just heading for a safe house to wait for them. And this is a bit that always ruined my runs, by the way. Getting that jump up there, I used to get so many refusals, he just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that climb right there is harder than it looks. You need to be, if you climb up like perfectly centered or off to the left a little, you can't climb. You need to like angle him and just be really far to the right. I've lost a couple there myself.
She's my friend, I guess.
Your friend, huh? Your friend.
Yeah, if you ever see me crouch walking, it means this is the fastest we can move.
My mom.
If I hold down
She's been looking
sprint,
after me, and I'm 14. Not that that has anything
that's
to
as
do
fast
with
as we can go, and this is faster.
Where are anyone's parents?
Right, so we've just reached the safe house, well, in a couple of seconds. So while we wait here, Joel decides to get some sleep. It's interesting, by the way, Ellie walks by him and says, your watch is broken. Now, it's not actually said in the game, but it was Troy Baker, who plays Joel, who confirmed it. Apparently, the watch was actually broken on the night that it was when Sarah died, when they got shot by the soldiers. He still wears it. 20 years later, he's still wearing the broken watch.
Come on.
This,
Poignant, I think, is the word that we're looking for.
that's a much better word, yeah.
Yes. Lovely. It has that poignant feel to it. Oh, we're playing golf. Yay. Oh, that's foreshadowing.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
She said there's some fireflies that traveled all the way from another city. Girl must be important.
All right, trust me. We're gonna hit a point in this game where the strats,
Something like that.
like the game moves so quickly, I can't keep up with everything that we're doing. So just put up with this slowness just a little bit longer. Like that trick right there. I like that trick. If you start climbing the ladder and then point the camera up right away and mash triangle, you can hit the triangle prompt at the bottom of the ladder, whereas otherwise you would have to like climb the whole thing. Saves like 3 seconds. There's so many little things that add up over the course of an almost 3-hour run.
And Joel is about to make a bad call here. He sees those two soldiers kind of moving off the roof of that truck, and he thinks it's safe to go. It's not. They're still around. So we're going to we're going to walk through this truck here. We're going to get captured by two soldiers. Now, one of them is carrying a handheld scanner from Fallout, I think, Fallout 4. Same model. No, but it's they put it to the head, and it shows whether or not the person is infected. And Ellie returns a positive. She claims that she was bitten 3 weeks ago, so it looks like she might be possibly immune, because turning only takes a couple of days. Joel isn't buying it, but the conversation has been cut short because at the beginning of that, one of the soldiers actually radios in for support, which has arrived, so we've got to run.
Yeah, in this area, on a first playthrough, this area probably gave you trouble because you don't have a lot of firepower to work with yet. But you literally can just run past them. Strategically and specifically, but you can just run past them. Good, he jumped across. The jumping feels so awkward in this game. Stay under that flashlight, you'll never get alerted. Feet hit the floor, restart encounter. Places us right here. Right, and this is the last stretch here of enemies. We will get alerted and shot at, but we shouldn't actually get hit. We do need a brick before we leave here, which also coincides with when we get alerted, so we crouch when we pick it up.
Perfectly clean. Sometimes there's a little bit, I think it's pure RNG, but sometimes Joel actually gets hit in the back as he's going through that truck.
Yeah, that is RNG. That hasn't happened to me in a long time, thankfully.
Shit. I got more soldiers.
Because that's another thing, okay, that we didn't mention before, the difference with Grounded, is that if Joel, or Ellie for that matter, they take damage, it's a lot longer before you reach a stage where you're back to full health. Whereas in the easier modes, it kind of happens almost in the next section that you get to.
Yeah, I have noticed that. On easy mode, if you skip a cutscene or restart encounter, you'll be given back like 4 bars of, you'll always have like 4 bars of health or something. On Grounded, it's just like, I don't know, I got nothing to give you.
Right, so that was another little cutscene there. So Ellie has explained that there's some Firefly's doctors somewhere that she doesn't know where it is, but anyway, they're hoping to use her apparent immunity to create the vaccine. That's the idea. Now, Joel is not interested. Really, he'd prefer to go back at this stage. But Tess says, look, you know, we've come this far. Might as well finish it. We're not that far from the Capitol building, so yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I should start talking about this now. So remember that thing I mentioned with the shiv? When you pick up your first something, you're given the crafting ingredients to craft. Another one of that thing you picked up, as long as it was the first one you picked up, and the crafting ingredients required for that thing were empty in your backpack. Well, we're gonna do that here with Molotovs and medkits. Molotovs and medkits both require the same amount of crafting ingredients. And from this point forward, the game keeps placing medkits in your way. The game's just like, Anthony, will you please pick up this medkit? And I'm just like, no. So what we do is we delay picking up the medkit, because once you pick up your first medkit, it kind of gets rid of the ones later on, but it will keep placing them in your way until you've picked up your first one. So what we do, since we need Molotovs more than we need medkits, like I said, if we have a perfect run, we don't use a medkit at all. Also...
Oh, by the way, Anthony, don't bother
scare.
with the square prompt here. Just don't do it.
Yep. You don't have to do anything. Naughty Dog sometimes are big fat liars with their QTE prompts. Not all the time, but sometimes. Okay, and
One thing...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, one thing to notice, you might have spotted here, we are in a building which is leaning over to one side. Now, in an infected combat section that's coming up, there used to be an older strat where we would go round to the right. That doesn't sound like it's going to make a lot of sense now, but you'll see the difference when we actually do that. And it could play havoc with the gameplay, because for some reason, you've got this whole thing on a slope, it kind of breaks the combat.
Yeah, you can even see it, yep. Like I mentioned, combat, if you're like lower elevation than your enemies, the combat really does break. I hopefully don't have to show you an example, but yeah.
Please no.
That clicker back there will always drop 3 pistol bullets as long as you have 2 or less, which kind of goes against the thing I mentioned before, where you'll get a drop if you have 3 or less. But with that specific clicker kill from Tess, that clicker will drop 3 all the time, 100% of the time, as long as you have 2 or less. And that clicker talks a big game, but we're just gonna go around him. And that restart encounter places Tess and Ellie right next to us.
Give me a second.
All right, now for the downtown fight. There's 4 runners and a clicker. You know, in terms of like ratio, like
All right.
the like the difficulty of a fight and like how far into the game we are, this is one of the tougher fights in the entire game because all you have is a pistol.
This is crazy.
But there's a thing in this game where if you use a brick throw and a melee weapon swing, it's an instant kill. So we definitely use that to our advantage here. There's also going to be a revolver in our way, but we don't want to pick that up because when you pick up like the first gun that you're introduced to, Joel like looks at it for the first time, like, or he looks at it for like 5 or 6 seconds, like it's the first time he's ever seen a gun. He's just like, yes, quite indeed, this is a gun.
Yeah, and he's from Texas.
Yeah. Nice. All right, yeah. Here's this fight. So we're gonna skip picking up that revolver and that med kit, and here we go. All right, we got a clicker screech there. That's not necessarily a good thing. Oh, God. That was bad luck right there. The lock-on. The lock-on. Did you see the lock-on?
Yeah, yeah.
Tried to lock that brick onto the runner, but it went to the clicker instead. That's all right.
In easy mode, once you do the restart encounter there, you would actually have all of your health back, but Joel is hurting a little bit now.
Yeah, he is. I might want to think about using my med kit that I picked up for safety. Because capital can be brutal. I'll consider it. We'll see. Okay, now right here, tests would otherwise give us a med kit, but we just want to keep delaying it until we've picked up a Molotov. You know, I'm going to try this strat here. This is a little bit new. Don't die. Yeah, you didn't die. All right. That saves a whopping, get this, 2 whole seconds compared to just going down to the left. And is extremely risky.
And you always brush me off.
It unnecessarily gets your heart rate going.
Unbelievable when I see it.
All right, this next area is a little bit weird. I'll think about if I want to use the medkit when we get to Capital.
Down here.
All right, this area is a little bit weird. Normally there's a clicker underneath where you exit this level. But if you either get alerted or almost get alerted before the halfway point in the area, the clicker never spawns in. So we're gonna distract that clicker and another runner to the left.
Almost out.
Actually, it's a different clicker behind him.
Okay, Joel, you take the phone. I'll watch
We're gonna distract him with this brick throw,
You stay right on
and it's going to prevent a spawn under the ladder so we can just leave. And you saw I picked up the Molotov before I picked up the med kit. So now we can craft a Molotov. We have a Molotov, then we can craft one. All right, we're good. So if you don't move fast enough, sometimes you can get alerted by the clicker behind you. See right here, there's no clicker here. There's supposed to be, but there isn't. Okay, now it's really awkward getting up this ladder here, so I'm going to craft a Molotov, then push Tess out of the way. And then when we pick up our next, but like first medkit, the medkit I picked up in the slums doesn't count. That one was just there. These medkits introduce you to crafting one. So then we'll be given another thing to craft another Molotov.
It's called luck.
Now this strat right here, if I fire this bullet right there, there's 3 runners in that building. They will all run out the right side. So I am clear to enter from the other side of the building, and they shouldn't. This isn't good. Oh, come on. Climb up, climb up, climb up.
Yeah, he's far enough away.
Okay, that was close. Another unnecessarily getting my heart rate up. That runner was supposed to be much further away. But what I did there, normally I turn that crate to the left. If you do like a turning it the other way, the runner doesn't notice you right away. It notices the crate moving, but it doesn't care about that. Eventually, it's just like, oh, it's Joel, and then it comes after you.
Coming. Okay, that's good, go.
And while you have a second kind of to breathe there, I can also say, if you're watching this on YouTube, hello, YouTube. Feel free to join us on over at twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick. Check out our live shows starting most nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. While you're there, Hotfix is also funded in part thanks to your subscriptions and bits. Please consider subscribing and to support our future broadcasts.
Right.
And Dino says, yeah, do it.
All right. This next area, like the strats are what they are, but oh, here's where the med kit is. Now this med kit wouldn't be here if we had picked one up earlier. Now because we're completely empty in our inventory, we now have another thing to craft the full thing, another Molotov. So we turned one Molotov pickup into 3. Basically is what we did there. Okay, but right here, this is another spot where we can just run past. We don't have to kill anybody.
Although the movement and the timing is very, very specific. You'd have to watch Anthony do this probably 20 or 30 times before you were able to emulate it yourself. This is actually far trickier than it looks. You're looking for a very specific movement from that clicker there.
Yep. Right now, this next runner is totally random. Oh, thank God. I was worried about that. I don't know. It's becoming more frequent that runner right there pushes me against the wall as soon as I open the door. It's been happening more and more and more. Thankfully, he didn't there. And I don't have another strat to counter it. One of those I have to leave to chance. All right. Hopefully, we can just leave. Oh, I got to keep the brick.
Never jump out of the window to the right, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you jump out that first window, Ellie's plus sign will fill in 100% of the time. Jump out any of the other windows whenever, and Tess will get rid of it. So weird. It's one of those things. It's so weird how the game works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cutscene time. So while we're waiting for Tess to cross this plank, Joel and Ellie have a nice little moment looking out towards the Capitol building. When it finishes, incidentally, Joel looks at his watch, and it's at that point you kind of realize that Joel is thinking, you know what, Ellie reminds me a little bit of Sarah. He now cannot wait to pass this girl off to the Fireflies, and we're only a few moments away. Hope it all goes well, Joel.
I did see a really interesting question in chat. Does the flashlight being turned on and off matter towards the run or to anything really at all?
No, it's because Anthony is just mental.
Yes. No, I'm always moving my finger. You can't see it, but I'm also just spamming L3. It's just something I do to calm down a little. You know what? I'm going to use the med kit here. We have a whole nother one we can use throughout the run. Capital's one of those places where if you die, it puts you in a spot that is just so inconvenient that there isn't really a good backup strat. So I want to make sure I make it through here.
And there's a big cutscene here. We're still being chased by the soldiers, by the way. Worth pointing that out. Now, the contingent of the Fireflies here, the contingent is dead. And we don't have any clue about where they were intending to take Ellie. Joel has given up. He's kind of, let's go home. Unfortunately, back there in the museum, Tess got bit. And the soldiers have arrived. She has sacrificed herself and been killed so that these guys can get away. We are now going to try to find Tommy, because Tommy used to be with the Fireflies, so he would at least know where they're based. But we've got to get out of this place first.
Keep your head down.
That's probably a new strat you didn't see before.
Yes, I have. Would you believe I've been there recently enough to actually see that? You see, now you're impressed.
So is this game still, like, are there tricks that are still being found? Or is it just one of those games to where they believe that it's all the tricks have been found and then you have to wait for that one moment just out of the blip?
Well, it used to be that Anthony would say, you know, we're getting close to 3 hours on this, but we're never going to beat it. We're never going to beat 3 hours. We're just going to get as close as we can. And then, you know, despite all of the time, remember, this game is 2013, and people still discover strats.
I know, when you reached out for this to be in the bargain bin, I was like, oh my God, Last of Us is 8.5 years old. I couldn't believe it. It was a horrible reminder.
It was only, I think, about a week ago. It was the 10th anniversary of the first trailer for this game.
Wow.
That's
really?
accurate, yeah. All right, sometimes you can get alerted there. All right, that was a good capital. Turns out I didn't need the med kit. But that's okay. If I need to use the med kit before we get to the dam, I can take the slower route down the cliff. There, I'm just thinking out loud now. But yeah, as for new strats being discovered, a lot of big time saves don't really happen anymore. If something's discovered, it saves like 2 or 3 seconds. Like, I think the most recent discovery was, well, there were a couple. When, here, this will make sense to Dino, I think. Right after Callus dies, sorry, spoiler. Well, nobody knows who Callus is yet, so it doesn't matter.
Or how many legs.
Yeah. Right after Callus dies, I used to go through 2 things of houses to avoid enemies seeing us to the left and right. Turns out you can go to the left of the first house and then through the second house, and it saves like 2 seconds.
Really?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
And you're perfectly safe as long as you climb up into the second house at a certain angle. Well, actually, hold on, I need to focus here. Sorry, we're doing something with inventory and supplements. As long as you pick this up before Joel says, I got it, it'll count. And as soon as the subtitles pop up, restart encounter, and it places you at the top of the ladder that Ellie put down. Very, very nice strat. And we're entering Billstown. Now, that thing we did with the Molotov crafting before we pick up a med kit, we're gonna do in Billstown, but we do that with a nail bomb and a modded melee weapon, but that's for a little bit later. As for like the newest strat, I think the one I found was when you're on the dam with Tommy, and Tommy's telling you about the dam, it's like, I don't know if you heard, but you should see the town. We're over 20 families strong now. They're walking the dam. If you walk on the bottom, if you crouch walk on the bottom level, you get ahead of Tommy, and he actually is 2 seconds faster in his movement.
Oh, and yes, we're looking for a guy called Bill. Who's Bill? Right, so this guy Bill that we're looking for, he was Tess and Joel's main, if not, maybe sole, I don't know, supplier of contraband from outside the Boston QZ. Joel's hope is that Bill can get them a car, because we've got to go and find Tommy. We don't know where Tommy is, but obviously he's far enough away that we need wheels. So,
Bill is way more helpful in the story than he is in the gameplay.
That's a fair comment.
I wish this released on PC so we could like mod him out. And then have him show up during cutscenes, but gameplay he just disappears. That'd be nice. Yeah, the one thing that can go wrong is he can get like plus signed behind you. He's very capable with a shotgun and machete and 20 years on his own, but he is more useless than Ellie, and I'm not even exaggerating. Okay, I like this strat. First of all, the sound is gonna get glitched out here.
Watch your step. It's a good drop.
And then it stops. Now listen for Ellie behind us. He's going to start whistling right now. Or attempting to whistle. And what that does, that's the dialogue that you would normally have inside that building. But if you bring it out here, it skips the dialogue that they were supposed to have, and you can boost Ellie up right away. Now, earlier we picked up 1 shiv, and that is going to be used right here. because we're otherwise just waiting for Ellie to open that gate.
Why did we fire the gun, Anthony?
Because there were 2 clickers behind us, and it allows us to sprint this stretch right here. It is the most frequently asked question.
So let's say we get a car from
Just
the
allows
side
us to
of
sprint up to that sign there.
yours. Then what?
Sorry. Okay, so the whole point of having like a certain amount of ammo in each gun,
Importantly, he was a firefly.
the strat is I should get a drop of 3 pistol or 2 rifle. Come on, game, work with me.
He lives far from
There it is, and it is rifle. All right, I can work with that.
Ellie.
Does it
And that
matter in terms of the run if whether one is better than the other?
bills, traps.
Not really. I think it's better to have 3 pistol because it's like 1 more like bullet of a gun.
What's the deal with this?
But in terms of what you do, no, you pretty much do the same thing no matter what you get dropped. Okay, this is the other strat that gets talked about a lot. Let me
Well, let's
just
hope we don't
do it.
blow up trying to find him.
Just watch your
Okay,
steps.
so if you just cross this normally, you have to wait for Ellie to cross it. But if you pick this up and place it really far to the right, you can pick it up without Ellie crossing it, which doesn't look faster, but it is because just get used to your companions taking forever doing stuff.
Come on up.
All right.
And Ellie makes her own way up, by the way. She kind of drops down from that truck and then climbs up some pallets, crates, or whatever. So, yeah, she finds her own way.
So the game knows you did this trick and knows that if there's an alternate route, so the game will take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been like a fail-safe for Naughty Dog or something. Okay, upside down trap. Where I do that,
See that
you let your guard down for 1 second, you run into those wires.
You'll be
So,
fine. You gotta be clear on this. He don't take too kindly to strangers.
Awesome.
He was a good guy. He just
One thing you'll notice here is how far away Joel can be from something and still be able to pick it up.
yep, I love that.
I got you.
Yeah, some things you need to be like standing on and then wrestle them out from under your shoe. Other things you can pick up from like 6 feet away.
traps.
Yes, I think the first example of that is after we meet Marlene for the first time. That
Fridge, it looks like
yeah.
2 before that you pick up. You have to be right on top of it.
Cut that rope, and it'll bring me down.
On it.
All right, so this fight, you're given pretty much an infinite amount of revolver ammo, and they'll spawn from the same place every time as long as you kill them in the same order. 2 shots for a runner, 4 shots for a clicker. Now on grounded, if you get grabbed by a runner, you're dead. On every other difficulty, you just need to mash square to punch it off. All right, I got the worst of 2 things that could happen. All right.
And it's really important to reload that gun at every opportunity that you get.
Yeah, and for those at home playing, if you want to reload the gun but not reload it all the way, all you have to do is aim, and he'll stop reloading it right there.
Here's some ammo.
Okay, now there's another trick we do here. Well, I'll do it first, then I'll explain what it is.
Damn it. Hurry, they're getting closer.
Okay, last enemy. Oop. Reload the gun. All right. Now, if I were to just fire that last bullet on that clicker, I would leave here with maybe 11 or 12 revolver bullets. But because we reloaded the gun completely, right before the last shot, we're gonna leave here with 16. And that 16 is going to last us the rest of the run.
Now, it used to be the case that it was either 15 or 16. So is that something that's been developed comparatively recently?
Yeah, there was a sort, well, not recently, but if you get a headshot on one of the runners on the first shot that you hit them with, you leave there with less ammo. I don't know why,
Run, Ellie.
but yeah, that's a thing. That's why I don't go for headshots there.
Right.
Bill, come on.
Anyway, we're going to quickly run through here to the next cutscene. Now, this guy, Bill, is as unfriendly as Joel says, and he certainly doesn't like Ellie. He also doesn't have a car. But we're going to join him to find some parts that will allow us to at least get one running. But first, we're going to follow Bill here to what he calls his armory, where, well, with any luck, we might pick up some more weaponry? I don't know. Let's just follow him anyway.
Yep.
Very specific movement here. We want to see Bill take a step back at the top of the stairs.
Up the stairs.
That's right. There are strats even as specific as going through an open door. You need to get through that door as early as possible, and you can tell it worked because Bill will take one step backward at the top of the stairs. It allows you to get past him right there, because otherwise you need to follow him. And like I've been explaining, companions love to move at one speed, slow. Luckily, there's a checkpoint right there, and that will place him in front of us. Okay, this strat is super important because the checkpoint is a little weird. If I don't get this first try, this could be bad. There's 4 runners and 2 clickers. We're gonna use this Molotov.
She's busy.
To gather them around that nail bomb. Now that nail bomb isn't going to become active until I get alerted. So they're checking out the nail bomb, they're gathering around it.
Why don't you fix one of these cars?
None of the clickers are near it yet. And boom. They're all dead. I had to waste a little time because it's RNG how they like run around. The ones that I wanted to die from it were the clickers. And they were the ones that investigated it last. That's just RNG. Ellie needs to move out of the way of Bill. You need to move out of his way. There we go. There, you need to move them around here.
Now, why did we not pick up that melee weapon?
Was there a melee weapon there? Oh yeah, there was.
At the bottom of the steps. But
Just
we don't pick it up because...
we're doing the same thing we did in downtown. We're waiting until we get a nail bomb and then craft another nail bomb before we get our first modded weapon. It'll give us a full thing of blades and binding for a modded melee weapon. Later in Pittsburgh.
There is a cutscene there. It's not really a vital cutscene. It's just that Ellie wants to... she wants to weapon up, and Joel says, no! But it does introduce us a little bit to Bill's character. It's quite nice, but it's not actually vital to the story at this point. But we now have a shotgun, and we have nail bombs.
So we got
Yep, which we only use 2 of them throughout the run, but they're used very effectively. Okay, now from this point forward, we need to keep track of how many pipe hits we have left. We're gonna do a trick at the end of this chapter, or area, that involves the melee weapon breaking. And instead of Joel just throwing the broken melee weapon away, if you have a gun equipped, he throws the gun away. So as a result, the game will compensate you with more shotgun ammo if you drop the revolver.
That other thing with the melee weapon as well is that the reason Anthony didn't pick it up is that he has to use a specific number of hits to basically waste it, don't you? You kind of get rid of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whereas if he'd picked up the one at the bottom of those steps, he would have had hits left and wouldn't be able to ditch it.
Okay. I'm sorry, this is the worst area in the entire run. The chapter is called Graveyard, which is very fitting because I've lost count how many runs I've lost here.
Usually thanks to Bill.
All right, he killed that one. That's good. All right, I have 8, 7, 6, 5.
I got him!
4. Oh my god. 3. That was weird. All right, I have 3. Good.
Hold up. I gotta keep.
All right, strat right here as well. All right, they're distracted.
Two.
Now, we did that exactly right. What should happen is there should be no enemies that spawn over here. There's supposed to be. Oh, work, thank you. Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Tie it on the other side.
Yeah, 2 hits left, which I think for the schoolyard is exactly right, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep,
2?
you want either 2 or 3. Careful. Which, again, is perfect. All right, we're going to craft the nail bomb here, so now we can pick up a modded weapon and get a full thing of blades out of it.
There's more of those clicker things inside the house.
Ain't seen us yet.
This is always scary, but as long as you time your stopping and starting of sprints, you'll make it past. Do I have all 3? I do. I have all 3 shotgun shells. Nice.
Now, is this a game that has a timer when you run? So if you run too fast, you'll slow down, and then you have to pace yourself before you can actually run again?
Yeah, like I can sprint the entire way, but I don't have time to make it past those clickers. So it's something you need to sort of time yourself, like in your head.
Yeah, if once you get through that doggy door thing, if you were to try to sprint all the way through the house, the clicker would block you once you get inside because they're alerted. You have to. There's one specific point where you just have to slow down to a jog, and it prevents the alert.
I'm going this way.
Oh yeah, that looked dangerous there.
They're loud.
Yeah, that's put you off the path. And Bill's got an alert as well, which is, you know, typical Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, that's what he does. Little damage, that's okay though. Okay, if I was doing a run at home, I would reset over that.
Yeah, this is all a case of what got dropped, because obviously 0 shotgun shells here is not ideal. So we're going to boost Ellie up, run over to the corner on the left-hand side. Hopefully we've got some drops.
Yep. There's one. There should be a drop of 3 somewhere. There it is. All right, good. I like to go in with 5, but 4 can do just fine. Okay, I better start explaining this next area now. Remember I mentioned some points throughout the game you can restart encounter and get the stuff back that you just used. This is one of those spots coming up.
So a tiny little cutscene here. I don't need to say much. We find the truck. It's in here. But the battery that they were looking for is gone. Bill knows who took it.
Okay, so I'm going to go Rambo here. I'm going to sprint as early as the game will allow me to. There's a little sound glitch there. It's all right. Uh-oh. That might be bad.
Oh, you got the twofer.
That should work. It did. All right, good. Okay, we just got back all the stuff we just used.
All right, ready.
What?
And yes, it's a weird thing. It's unique to the grounded mode as well.
Yeah, that only works on grounded. If you run fast enough, the enemies behind you will despawn. And as soon as the last enemy is declared dead by the game, you restart encounter, it places you at the door, but it gives you your stuff back. Again, only possible on grounded. It's buggy because it's a DLC difficulty. Guess some kinks weren't worked out. Okay, bloater, big bloater. 1 Molotov throw. 2 shotguns, he's dead. And then these 2 for 1 special. All right, he didn't die. Die, please, thank you. Good enough. Bloater died in 1 molly throw and 2 hits, so that's good.
For a long time.
Were my eyes deceiving me, or did that second runner there just kind of disappear? Once you punched him,
he almost fused into the wall. Almost.
Then right afterward, you almost punched Bill.
Yeah.
I wish I could. Trust me.
We've just got a couple more runners to clear here. Then once we get over these bleachers, it's good. Right, yeah, once we get up these bleachers here, it's a little bit weird. You have to make sure that when you jump down from the roof, you're in front of Frank. Otherwise, he blocks you. We're aiming for a ladder and in a little kind of gully, whatever you want to call it. If Bill is ahead of you, you get blocked on the ladder. You've got some runners here that will attack you.
Yes, Bill runs very fast right here. So you got to make a beeline for the ladder.
Yeah. If Bill gets there first, in fact, if it's kind of 50-50, Bill will nudge you out of the way. Right, so we just found, unfortunately, the body of Frank, who's Bill's former partner. He hanged himself after getting infected. But in the garage of this, Ellie has found a car. Look, and it's complete. It's got the battery in it, and it's the one that Frank took. Now, the engine will turn over, but it won't start. So the plan here is that Ellie is going to drive, and we're going to give it a bump start.
Yep, okay. Now, this stretch should be new to you, Dino. So the way this area works is there's 3 waves of enemies, and they'll spawn in out of thin air when you hit a certain distance through the level. But the way this first infected wave spawns in is 1 clicker and then 2 runners. If you hit the clicker, as soon as it spawns in, you prevent the spawn of 2 runners behind it. And we use 2 rifles there to kill it. That's the new part.
I thought in the past you used to use the revolver on that.
I did, but if you kill him, you don't have to stop pushing the truck. I'm gonna try and get truck push. I don't know. Oh, I thought he... Okay. Thanks, Bill. No, I'm serious. That was his fault. He uses his shotgun like he uses a pistol. He'll shoot at it from like 20 feet away.
That seems counterintuitive.
Oh, another plus sign. Is anyone shocked here yet?
Yeah.
Help me push the truck.
Yes,
Help me push the truck. Thank you.
That's a bit of Bill action going on there.
I gotta calm down.
Okay. Right, we got to the end of the truck push. That's good. Right, long cutscene. Yeah, this is actually one of the longest cutscenes of the game. But summarised very, very briefly, we're taking a long drive now into Pittsburgh. As we get there, we fall into a trap that's been set by this group called the Hunters. They're like a really, really brutal group. They scavenge, well, people. Okay, they hunt for what they call tourists. That's the name that they give to people who try to live outside the quarantine zone but are not hunters themselves. The tactic is kind of kill first and then find out if the victims were carrying anything useful. So these are hunters. These are our enemies for the next bit of gameplay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, the one important thing about this area is we want to leave with 2 rifle bullets. That will sort of set up a drop, a pretty consistent drop in the next area. So right here, I'm going to use 1 pistol bullet and 2 rifle bullets, and then through the bus, I'm going to use a rifle and 2 revolver. You know, it turns out if you kill the enemies through the bus here, as soon as they spawn in, the area actually ends a second faster. Before, I used to use a rifle, 2 rifle, and a revolver, but now I use 1 rifle and 2 revolver because there was a slight delay in killing the second guy. All right, here we go.
Stay down. Right there.
Uh-oh. Oh, I got him. Restart the counter.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
I'll improvise.
Oh, gosh, that was close. It was just that initial switch over to the short weapon. And it was a second, wasn't it? And it just ruined the movement.
Yeah, I remember the last hotfix I did. This area was a mess as well. All right, I'm going to do the strat that I used to do. Right there, that's the strat that I mentioned. If you do that, it's 1 second slower. But I got to leave here with 2 rifle bullets. So that's all right. I get to save a revolver bullet in the process. So that's more of a marathon safe thing. Yeah, that's the problem with getting the rifle bullets dropped instead of the pistol back in Billstown. I need to headshot one of the human enemies here. And if you miss,
Get it propped over
Tough luck.
There's some pretty gnarly stuff
But yeah,
in here.
you have to do that area completely differently if you need to restart a. That's something I didn't mention. Some areas, doing it your first try versus doing it from a restart encounter behave completely differently. This is one of those spots. So I'm glad I was able to recover it, at least.
All right, I got it.
Okay. There's a smoke bomb here, but you don't want to pick it up. You want to pick up that rag instead. The smoke bomb, that whole picking something up, crafting, then picking up another thing, that's over now. But you still don't want to pick up the smoke bomb right away because he's going to look at it for a long time. So if you pick it up somewhere else, he'll just pick it up. He won't like look at it. All right, so coming up here is one of my favorite strats. It really shows off like the spirit of Grounded. We have 2 rifle bullets. I don't think I reloaded this. Gotta make sure you pick up those crafting ingredients. So like I said, you'll get down to, when you get down to 0, they'll drop rifle ammo. So the strat is hopefully I use this and then get it right back. So let's see.
Where did you learn to shoot?
Get the alcohol he drops, and then, yep, 2 bullets sticking out of the bus right there. Got it right back.
That bridge looks
So effectively, all I used there was a brick and a melee weapon.
pretty far.
We'll get there.
I love that strat. And I pick up the smoke bomb right there because barely have to
that's a
slow
new
down.
one to me.
Those zones look like.
If you pick up the smoke bomb there, doesn't that make that valid for the end of sewers?
Yeah, me too.
End of sewers.
Because you never used to. You know, the end of sewers thing where, you know, you kind of go to the door, get the guys through, and then run back and throw it. You used to throw a smoke bomb at the infected that dropped down, but then you stopped because you couldn't afford to do it. But that's a smoke bomb that you never used to pick up.
Oh yeah, I used to pick up the smoke bomb in the hotel in the next area. That one's not going to be there anymore.
Oh, yes, of course. My apologies. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. No, I always forget. It's because if I'm playing the game, and I'm playing it usually on easy, I will always pick up that smoke bomb in the hotel. I just couldn't remember whether or not you did.
There's more of them.
Yeah, the reason I don't pick it up in the hotel anymore is because there's a thing of alcohol right next to it, and you would have to stand over it and hold down triangle to pick both of them up at the same time.
All right.
As you saw, picking up that smoke bomb there didn't waste any time whatsoever. But
Yes,
now when
and the smoke bomb in the hotel is very slightly out of the way of the ladder as well.
yeah, I still need to go over there to pick up the alcohol, but
If you get
I can
me up
stand
there,
further
I'll
away
get
from
the
it.
link.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, not the ladder. I mean the elevator.
Yeah. As for the bookstore there, it's funny, I just completely went past an area that probably gave so many people a hard time on Grounded. Yeah, if you time your, like, starting your sprint, slowing down, then starting up again properly, all you need to do is throw a brick at that last enemy in the doorway, and then just run out.
But very important to remember the point at which on the stairs at the start of it, you kind of slow down. You can't sprint all the way up the stairs.
Okay, what do we have to do here? If you place this further to the bottom of this bus here, Ellie will drop the pallet or the plank just a little bit faster. All right, what we do here is we pick up a bottle and then switch to our bow. Looks like this. Bottle. Bow. Because we do need to do this next building quietly.
All right. Now you just need to.
We'll still be doing it fast, but it'll be quietly.
We're about to find out.
We'll just turn the game audio down.
It's clear, Ellie. Come on down.
Okay, for marathon safety, I'm gonna grab this. Normally I don't, but there's a half a thing of alcohol that we have to pick up in the dam, and sometimes it can be a little tricky. There's an enemy in a Molotov doorway, and when you go through the doorway, the stuff that's dropped gets despawned. And if he dies too far in the doorway, you can't pick it up, which would lose me about a minute. So
Come on up.
picking that up there will prevent the need to pick that one up in the dam.
Watch your step.
Okay. First things first. Distract.
Oh, shit. Get down, get down.
Stop your
Slow.
sprint. Start it up again. Otherwise, you would get alerted. All right, now here's a spot where we actually use the subtitles to our advantage. So as soon as they pop up, that's when they spawn in. They're otherwise moving pretty slowly down the hallway, so we have time to go back and get those supplements. And then, all right, I didn't get the best RNG, so I'm gonna wait for that guy to disappear. All right, the arrow broke. That could be a problem later, but it's not a problem right now. I also need to keep track how many shotgun shells I have. I know I left Billstown with 1. So, also, yeah, the smoke bomb would be right there, but having to only pick up the alcohol there makes it so I can cut back to the right just a little faster. Yeah, arrows breaking is completely random.
Where this goes.
But we finally get to see the payoff of all the supplements we were picking up.
It's gonna be a tight fit.
We could get through the entire game up until now without upgraded weapon sway, but we can't really from this point forward. So 50 supplements for 50 on the weapon sway, and then swap out from the bow to the rifle. Ellie hops down, and we continue on to probably a casual player's least favorite area.
It's weird, isn't it? This is really scary. This basement section is terrifying the first time you play the game, but when you actually know where you're supposed to go, it's easy, isn't it? I mean, I don't want to make it sound too light, but really, when you know the principle of where you're supposed to go, what you're supposed to do, it's kind of a cakewalk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the RNG is not that terrible.
It all depends if there's a stalker in your way when you climb up the ramp. That's
Yeah.
really all there is.
Yeah.
Is there
But
one there or not?
apart from that, it's pretty straightforward. I always find that
Yeah.
the unpredictable bit is when you've done all of the hard work and you're running towards the door to use the key card. It's never knowing precisely whether or not you have a stalker waiting around the corner for you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we should explain how this area works. So there's a locked door, but a key won't open it. You need a key card. And that key card won't work if there's no electricity. So we need to turn on a generator, get the key card, then go for the locked door. Now, whichever one you go for first is going to spawn in stalkers out of thin air. So we're just gonna place a nail bomb right there and count down from 3. 3, 2, 1.
And
Stalker spawned in.
But he landed on the bomb.
Uh-huh. Okay, so now we're gonna sprint around the bottom floor here a little bit, because there's also a bloater. Gonna sprint around the bottom floor. Hopefully that gets the bloater to hop down to the first floor, so now we have the second floor clear. And give them a chance to run to the right. I don't see anyone.
It's always this left corner here. Now
Yeah,
it's
right
fine.
there. We're perfect. That was perfect. I never stopped moving, so nobody's gonna come and get us. Once you hit this door, a stalker cannot come and get you. The bloater can, but stalkers cannot. On the rare instance, they can.
Why?
For the stalkers,
Yeah.
hold on, real quick.
I think it's just game design. Nothing more than that.
I never reloaded my rifle.
It's almost like there's an invisible checkpoint there where the game says, okay, you've done all you needed to do.
I can't believe it. I didn't reload my rifle when I began the area. Oh man.
Here we have the second Naughty Dog is lying to you about gameplay. Now, the first part of this bit here, yes, you do need to mash the square button. But the second bit, no. And cutscene coming up, not a big cutscene, but it's Ellie finally challenges Joel's kind of lack of gratitude because she just saved his life. Ellie turns up here with a gun, shoots the guy, but he doesn't do it. He just kind of says, you know, hey, we've got to get going. So you might notice in the bits of dialogue in this next section, Ellie sounds a little bit I don't know, belligerent, maybe? Is that the right word? Anyway, she's kind of peed off with him a little bit.
Yeah, they're becoming a little bit more distant. I think they're just getting a little tired of traveling with each other or something. Okay, you were talking about the stalker thing behind. When you hit the door, stalkers sort of aren't allowed past an invisible line. I'm not sure why. Sometimes it can happen if they're like chasing you and they're like right behind you when you hit triangle. But once you hit triangle, you'll see them. Sometimes they'll be running towards you and then just turn around. It's weird. Yeah. Only the bloater can come and get you.
You sure you can?
Okay. Which leads us to our next area, financial Sorry, with the previous area, I had to use a rifle bullet, but when I swapped to it, it wasn't reloaded, so I had to swing as late as I could.
Let's go.
All right, there's anywhere from 13 to 15 enemies here. I'm gonna use a nail bomb, a Molotov, a rifle bullet, and the rest revolver ammo.
And this is a part that Anthony always practices this before a run. Now, Joel has kind of done the right thing here. We just missed a cutscene, by the way, but Joel, he's found a rifle, and he's given it to Ellie to cover for him in his combat. Kind of an acknowledgement of the fact that she can take care of herself. This RNG here, you never quite know what those guys at the top are going to do. Looking all right?
Perfect.
Yes.
All right, come on down.
Yeah, you go climbing. Go on.
I even got the fast climb. No, that's actually a strat. If you're in the middle of a climb facing Ellie when you lose control of him, that dialogue, all right, come on down, actually happens 2 seconds faster.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's brilliant.
And I got it.
Yeah.
Good fight. Good fight. Am I trying to think, was it really a good fight, or am I just saying that?
No, it looked good to me.
It was good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, the Molotov didn't kill one of the enemies. But as long as 3 died from that, which they did, 2 less enemies spawn in on the last wave. So that was good.
We had a little change in, relationship, by the way, at the end of that. Because although Joel takes the rifle back from Ellie, he does give her a pistol. And although he says, you know, it's for emergencies only, but you see this fundamental change now, where Joel is kind of recognizing Ellie as being more of an ally than a burden. Okay, he's actually starting to trust the idea that Ellie can work with him. And you're going to see this potentially in some of the next combats, where Ellie will actually start now attacking enemies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, either downright killing them with her blade or shooting them along with you.
Yeah. And here we see what the hunters are like. You know, they'll just shoot people, then have a look. Oh, no, they got nothing. Okay, fine, let's go.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. There's 2 enemies here. We can just run past them, but we got to do it in a pretty specific way. So they just spawned in, swap to the bow, gives them a little bit of time to come through the area. Gonna start our sprint, distract him, and just run past. And we're unfortunately we have to jog the rest of the way. That seems to be a bit of a random element to it. You're supposed to sprint all the way here, but sometimes it can be a jog. Okay.
There are 3 more enemies here than we will actually take on.
Yeah, there's actually like 7 enemies in this area, but if you killed these 4 quietly.
And the other 3 now do not exist.
Yeah, there were enemies in the top floor there. But because we killed these 4 quietly, they just despawned. I don't know why. It's weird. Okay, unfortunately, I'm going to take a little bit of a time loss because I just don't trust the game. We were supposed to get shotgun ammo dropped by now, but we still only have 1. We need at least 2 for the sewers. We absolutely 100% need at least 2 for the sewers. So I'm just gonna pick up a shotgun shell that's in that drawer over there. As you can see, it definitely lost me time, but if I don't have 2, I'm in worlds of trouble. So that gave us 2. I'd like to have 3, but
I was just thinking, would there be any chance at all that you might have got a drop from the guys once we've met our next friendly characters and we get to the office? There's the 2 guys that you take out. Is there any chance that one of those would have dropped?
yes. But I don't know. Today, I'm not trusting the game.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Okay, that throw was very specific, so we didn't get shot right away. And it turns out you have to hit that guy with a bat and not kill him. Otherwise, you would get shot by this guy behind you. All right, that Ellie's plus sign doesn't mean anything there.
Tricky little move coming up here. Usually you'd go all the way up these steps, but you do that instead, which is good. And we're about to meet, cutscene coming up in, 30 seconds and counting. We're going to meet 2 brothers, Henry and Sam. Henry is the old guy. Sam is, I don't know, 12 or 13, 12 years old or something like that. I think he's 12.
Yep.
So they came into Pittsburgh with a group looking for supplies, but they got ambushed by these hunters and scattered. All these 2 want to do now is just escape. They just want to get out. So we're going to follow them. They have a safe place, a safe house. So we're just going to, we're going to find that place and plan how we're going to escape.
Yep. Okay. Now, you got to do this little rail hopping to get in front of him because
I promised someone I'd look after. Yeah.
companions are low.
Although,
Except there.
they also do that.
Yep. He'll go through the wall if you're ahead of him. Okay, this next part has gone under a lot of revisions in the past. Hopefully I do it properly. I'm trying to think what I need right now. I need to check if I have pistol ammo. I think I got that dropped before or after the financial fight.
Sam, what are you doing?
Yeah, the financial fight. If I didn't pick up the stuff before the fight ended, it wouldn't be there after the cutscene, so I had to pick it up before. I'm gonna, hold on, I just need to think. There's a lot of like adapting you need to do as the run goes, because I need a certain amount of rifle ammo leaving here.
While you're thinking, do you mind if I read something real fast?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Just a quick announcement that Frost Fatales 2022 is going to be taking place February 27th to March 5th. The schedule for the event is actually out now. You can go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more information.
Oh my god, that animation looked funny.
And of course,
Hold
if you've missed anything up to here that's live here on Twitch, or if you missed on any other of the other GDQ Hotfix shows, all of our shows are archived at our YouTube channel at youtube.com/gamesdonequick.
Okay. Good.
Through the store.
That was pretty good. I got a little confused as to what I was supposed to do with ammo. Yeah, I messed up with what gun I was supposed to use. I was supposed to use a revolver in the beginning and then use a rifle on the top. All right, that's okay. I have a lot of pistol ammo.
Cutscene coming up. Okay, so it turns we're about to go into Henry's office because he has an office. It turns out that he and Sam, they intend to join up with the Fireflies, who are, in his words, out west somewhere. But before we get there, there's some abandoned military radio tower not too far away, which is the rendezvous point for whoever's left in their group. So our plan is to cross the Fort Duquesne Bridge under the cover of darkness, because it's heavily guarded by these hunters during the day. In Henry's words, we should just have a skeleton crew at the moment. So let's see how that goes.
Yes, let's see. I'm dying to know how this goes. Okay. Slightly new strat here. You can go through here. This is gonna sound loud, but we're gonna do this quietly. Spawned in.
you leave.
Okay.
That's the other way around from the old strap.
Good.
T-post time.
Yeah. Sometimes, sometimes coming out that window, he will literally just do this. It just... I love this game. All right, that was perfect. That was perfect. All right, it's okay to not have any arrows leaving here. So we're just gonna
Wait.
get that guy.
All right, check it out.
Okay, so yes, we're just coming up to a little. Actually, this isn't even a cutscene, is it? What is it?
We're good. Sam, let's go.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just thinking about what I need to do next with ammo. Every single run that you do of this category, there's always some adapting that needs to happen because you're never going to get the same amount of ammo drops every run, and you need a certain amount for the areas that are coming up. So
How different is it what you have now compared with what you used to?
Well, I have a good amount of supplies right now, but I wanted 3 rifle leaving here. I have 2. I think in its place, like have you seen the new sniper strat?
No.
We stick
Oh,
together.
we need a combination of 2 one-hit kill weapons, so either rifle or revolver. But I'm good on revolver right now, so I think I'll use 2 revolver in place.
Well, if you're short on 1 for the rifle, is there a chance that you might get an extra drop from one of these guys in here?
No, I don't have 0. I have 2. Anyway, 4 enemies. All right, 1 guy lived. That's okay. That Molotov was supposed to kill all of them. That's fine. Okay. Here's a neat little strat. There's 2, actually. If you run towards the back of the cop car here, it skips the camera panning behind them. And if you shoot this propane tank here, it skips it exploding behind you and knocking Joel to the ground.
And also that sign falling over.
Mm-hmm.
Handkill would not be happy right now.
Hey, we're gonna search this
Oh,
area.
what just happened there? Okay, so yeah, we got through that. The lower deck of the bridge, that's actually on 2 decks, that bridge. The lower one is broken. So Ellie jumps into the river. So obviously Joel has to follow her. Now he manages to grab her, but he gets knocked out. Hits a rock in the water. So he comes around on the riverbank here. And it turns out that Henry and Sam actually rescued them, although Joel doesn't really see it that way at first. I think he's just still rather annoyed about the fact that they ran off. Anyway, we're all kind of good now.
Right, you go in.
Okay. First half of this area is pretty boring. Second half, there is no downtime at all. So, just put up with the slowness here. It'll pick up again pretty soon. In the meantime, the only strats we have are know when to crouch walk, know when to stand up.
Which way?
Joel, we should see what's over here.
And then there's a restart encounter coming up that places Henry and Sam right next to us.
Up ahead. Right here.
So
I don't know why it amuses me so much, but once we're onto that platform being carried across the pond, well, this bit here, if you get to the corner of that and look around at Sam, I just find it funny the way that his character animation freezes. And it's like his arm and the rest of his body are 2 separate things. One freezes before the other. I just always find that it looks funny.
I never bothered to look.
Henry, give it a
Maybe
shot.
I'll try. One thing I do notice is just the blank stare that he has on his face. That's the one thing I always noticed. He's just like, I would rather be anywhere than here, which I guess is appropriate, but...
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a look. You keep an eye out.
All right, I'm still thinking about what I want to do for sniper. I think I'll use 2 revolver bullets. I could use nothing and take a longer route, but I want to show off the new thing. Because it saves like 8 seconds, I think. We're basically going through the front door.
Oh.
Like when we do the sniper, you need to usually go around the back entrance and then make your way up to the sniper's nest.
Oh, there you go. That's smart.
But there was a pretty recent strat discovered by somebody else that you can go in through the front door, but it has to be done in a very specific way.
Kind of with the specifics and a lot of the headshots, and especially with like ammo, with the amount of ammo and everything you have to have constantly in your head. Is this a game that can be, I guess, because speedrun that could be picked up easily, or is it something that you have to really grind for?
I wouldn't say really grind. It's definitely on the harder side.
Yeah, it all depends what you're going for. Oh God. I thought he was about to get pushed. If you fall in the water here, you'll lose like 40 seconds because they help you out of the water so slowly. That was weird. Okay. It all depends what kind of time you're going for. If you want to get below 3 hours or even below 3 hours and 10 minutes, you don't have to be this specific with your strategies. There are a lot of slower strats you can do for safety reasons. But if you're trying to get below 250 or something, yeah, like the strictness of it all, it definitely comes into play. Okay, here we go. This is why I wanted 3 shotgun shells here. There's one. Uh-oh. Okay. Anything dropped? No, that's okay.
No.
They wouldn't have dropped revolver ammo because we have more than 2. They didn't drop any pistol, though, so that could be a problem. We have 1, though, so that's okay. But yeah, you don't want to swing at an infected when there's another infected right next to him. With any infected type. So I had to, those 2 runners had to die before I piped the clicker.
So, this is awkward.
Right. So back in the day, and this first run through, this first run part of this section used to be so RNG. There's a stalker that comes in from the right-hand side, and you never really know what it's going to do. How optimized is this now?
You're describing the current strat.
Okay.
All right. Restart encounter as soon as you can move to create some more consistency. But yeah, let's see what we got. Look to the right. No stalker there. There's going to be a stalker right here. Now there's a stalker there. Run for the ladder.
Okay, you got the best.
We're good.
I feel like that stalker was just sitting down there, like drinking a coffee or something.
He was. Yeah, that's pretty much what they do. Stalkers are like, I don't know if they're smart or dumb. I'm not sure, but if you don't move when you're finished boosting him up, they'll take cover behind that whatever it was they took cover behind. If you moved at all, they would come right towards you. So it's like Jurassic Park. Don't move. Don't make a sound. Okay. But yeah, stalkers, they're basically runners, but they have a more annoying hand-to-hand combat, and they will hide behind things waiting for you to run past them and then attack you. So that stalker is there like almost 100% of the time.
So that wasn't just because the stalker was taking like a 15, just sipping coffee, you know, he needed to walk away for a minute.
Nope. And that's why I needed a brick before that strat in the bar, throwing the Molotov on the table that killed 4 enemies. I had to pick up a brick before I threw it, because if we had a bottle, we couldn't do that strat. If you have a bottle and you just hit square, it'll break the bottle over their head, and pretty slowly. If you have a brick, you can do a quick like bash, and it stuns them for a little bit, and the animation is very, very fast.
Here, give me a boost. I can get through that window.
Okay. I want.
Make it fast.
May as well craft this now. Normally I craft this in the dam, but I can craft it now. Okay. There is going to be an infinite spawn of infected here. No more than 5 allowed in the room, but If you kill one, the game will replace it with another. It's okay. Their alert is a little bit delayed. And we want to delay killing our first one for as long as we can. So when the game replaces an infected, they're already dead. I'm going to spread them out a little bit. That's okay. Oh, did you see that?
Oh, wow.
All right, I'm going to lose time here. Oh, I might die. Yeah, I'm dead.
Oh.
Oh, that was so unlucky. What have I been mentioning about companions, by the way?
I think you were going to say that they're absolutely useless.
Yeah. Wait, it ate. Where's my shorty?
What about you?
I don't know. Oh, I've never.
Oh, that's harsh.
What? What happened to my shorty? I don't know what's gonna happen.
No, there's another area where that happens, isn't there?
No, I didn't. All right. Well, this is
Isn't
why I
there
set
another-
This is why I set an estimate of 3 hours.
Yeah, isn't there another part of the game where if you get reset, you actually lose?
Stop it! I expect to die again. Yeah. Yeah, I can't do anything. What happened to my shorty?
Yeah.
Oh, this is horrible. This is really horrible.
I'm just thinking there is another part of the game, and I can't remember where it is, where if you get killed and have to restart, you actually lose stuff that you can pick up. I don't remember where it is now.
Well, I guess I should talk about what I'm doing there. You can freeze the clickers when they hop down by swinging at them before Joel says, "Get ready." Oh, man. Yeah, I would have been fine if Henry didn't get the plus sign. If Henry has a plus sign, the door will never open. All right, I'm fine now. And swap to the rifle and the revolver. I'll craft my Molotov again. All right, I'm fine. Oh man, I've never had that. I've never seen it that bad before.
Yeah, that was really, really unfortunate. Now, what about ammo?
Oh, I'm fine with ammo. The shorty I actually don't use in the rest of the run. I like having one for the hospital, but I can use a revolver or pistol. It's fine. Yeah, shorty really isn't used anywhere besides there, but you know, I like to kill the infected when they're right on me in one hit, so.
Yeah.
Where's this tower?
I need to pick up that shorty right away then.
We're close.
That's what that means.
Come on, let's go.
I think I delayed picking up the shorty until after Henry was like, "Damn thing's stuck." Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh well.
Man?
Maybe I can make up for that with a really cool sniper strat.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Let's play it.
That's okay. All that costs me is time. I'm doing perfectly fine with health and ammo.
Yep.
And it taught me something.
Find a way around.
Always pick up the shorty before
Business as usual.
they say, before they like start knocking on the locked door. I did not know that. I've been running this game for over 7 years. I did not know that. Okay. I'm fine, really I am. And again, I wouldn't have messed that up, but if Henry has a plus sign, Sam and Ellie will never open that door. So I had to get rid of it, but
Y'all stay here.
I don't know.
No.
Before you start, I need you guys to keep.
And then the game ate my shorty. That's honestly, it's game's done quick, so stop me if you've heard this before.
Hey.
That's never happened before.
Be careful.
Okay. Here's the new sniper strat. It doesn't really matter how much health you have when you enter here. The left of the trash can, right of the stairs, you're gonna do a jog leap over here, which will trigger an alert sound, like that. That's what you want. You want an alert sound there. And then we're gonna go over here. And I'll get the ammo they dropped here.
Nice.
And we are good. That was perfect.
Oh, yes.
And I can even hear them. He's around here somewhere. Find him. They lost sight of me.
Well, that's nice. Not only is it a quicker route, you also get the drop.
Yeah, you get a drop of shorty or pistol there. Since we don't have the shorty. Gotta do the rest of the run without the shorty. That's weird. I've never done that before. All right. I'm putting that in the speedrunning Discord when this is over. A slight delay on killing that guy will make it so that this guy gets shot before he takes cover behind those logs, which can waste time. So a slight delay killing this guy will make it so Henry shoots him before he takes cover. Oh, he deeped me. Hold on. I was supposed to hit him right there. So this is ruined a little bit. Hopefully not too much. This guy's still coming through the middle. One more guy to the right. And then one guy to the left. Here we go. All right. Whatever. Trying to think, but delaying killing this guy, I think no, it doesn't like make it so there's less enemies. It makes it so the enemies show up quicker. All right, right here, if you keep killing them over and over, they'll spawn in infinitely until Henry or Ellie kills one of them. They're scripted to kill one of them, and they still are. But we're gonna time it, so when they kill one, we're gonna kill another guy just before then, and it should be the last enemy in the area. So they're just shooting him, they didn't kill him. I'm gonna kill this guy around the time he starts firing his gun. So, firing. Now. Henry and Ellie killed him, and that's it. It basically forces the truck to move further, like as early as possible.
Nice.
So once we kill this guy on the turret truck, that's the end of the hunters. But unfortunately, just before this is finished, we're going to get attacked. Sorry, the three are going to get attacked by infected.
Oh, that was intense.
And that will be it for the section. We have to kill one, just one.
Thanks, Joel.
Of the one of the infected, but that leads to one of the longest cutscenes in the game. It may be the longest, I think.
Yeah.
But it's all going to be very, very tragic, I'm afraid. Much as we've come to love Henry and Sam, which I'm sure we have.
Oh yeah.
Or am I making that up? I don't know. Maybe we have. Yes. Unfortunately, in that moment there, little Sam has been bitten. We can't tell yet.
Oh no.
But we do reach the radio tower. Yeah, Sam's infected, and the following morning, while everybody else is making breakfast and stuff, Henry says to Ellie, you know, if you want Sam to come and join us, you can go and wake him up. And yes, Sam is infected, tries to attack Ellie, bursts into the room. Henry shoots him, where Joel was going to, but Henry shoots his own little brother, and in grief turns the gun on himself, which is... But on the plus side, there's double breakfast rations for...
I never thought of it that way.
Ellie and Joel. So yeah, every cloud, you know, every cloud.
No, that's. I mean, that's one way. I do want to, because I saw this in chat a little bit when you were talking about the shorties. What is a shorty?
It's basically a right holster shotgun that you can fit in your pocket. That's basically it. It doesn't have as good a range. It's also a really annoying gun in the multiplayer, but that's a whole separate conversation. Right, I'm playing it safe.
Is the shorty effectively a short shotgun?
Yes.
Tommy saw the world one way, I saw it the other.
And that's
Like
why
shorty
you joined
sounds like a
Fireflies.
nickname to the gun, but that's literally the name of the
Yeah,
gun.
your friend Marlene promised him hope. That kept him busy for a while, but just like Tommy.
I was
I actually
going to
didn't know
use
there
it.
was multiplayer.
How was it?
What?
I actually didn't know there was multiplayer.
Yeah, that's what factions is. If you ever saw it on the main menu, that's factions. That's the multiplayer.
Oh,
But he's gonna
Okay.
help us?
It's not there anymore on PS3, but it's still here
If they're without his help, we'll get
on Remastered.
Just keep going.
All right, I'm just thinking about what I'll need. All right, I don't use revolver ammo until the science lab.
Anthony, I'm gonna ask the question now. Do we get the high five?
We are. Companions don't have a good track record in this run so far. I don't know. Although, did Ellie
Okay,
lose me
so-
any time? Has she done anything bad?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I'll think about it. There's actually a strat right here. If you place this... Ooh, that was nice. That was really nice. She can... If you place this in the wrong spot, she will spend an extra 5 seconds hopping on here. And I'm not even exaggerating about the time. Like the top left corner of the pallet has to line up with the pebble that's on the ground, and she'll hop on right away. So that was good. Henry and his sewers plus sign.
Yeah, well, Henry ain't getting no high five.
No.
no.
Well, not now, he's dead. I mean, obviously. It'd be a low five. Very low five. About 6 foot.
Nice. 6 foot below the ground, low five. I like it.
I will.
teamwork.
We're two normal people, by the way. I'll high five her.
Thank you, dude. That's a wholesome moment there.
Yeah. All right, I'm trying to.
I know I am too.
Yep. Normally, what I would do in this area is jump. Like when we first entered this area, Joel, like he was running down some cliffs. Normally, I would jump off one of the cliffs and take fall damage. But on Grounded, one of the enemies in the next area has a rifle. If you have full health and you get hit by it, you're really, really injured, but you're still alive. If you take the fall damage and get hit by that rifle, you're dead. So I would do, normally in my runs, I would take the fall damage because it's like 4 seconds faster, and then I would heal here. But I'm not trusting this game one bit, so I'm saving it for something.
Who's this guy here? Yes, we found Tommy. We found Tommy and his wife, Maria, and we also found a weird bald guy. And I'm actually going to try to do the voice. I've not heard this voice, by the way, for literally 2 or 3 years. So I'm going to try it now.
Hey, thanks, Tommy.
Hey, thanks, Tommy. No,
That's pretty much it.
Hey. Oh no, I don't think. Nah, I think I was a bit sharp.
That's fine. That's fine. I always imitate his voice because he sounds really weird. I don't know why. Okay, here's the strat. I love this strat right here. One of my mods found it. So normally Maria, sometimes she did this once before. Hold on, let me do it real quick. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes she used to just stand there for anywhere from like 10 to 12 seconds and do nothing. She's supposed to open the door. That's how we can get inside. But sometimes she would just stand there for 10 seconds. One time it was 12 seconds. One of my mods found out that if you're in her way, she'll never go towards the door. But when she stops moving, if the game recognizes that you're in her way and then you get out of her way, she goes towards the door like instantly.
I'm sending Tommy over. Stand by.
So what we do is we stand in her way, and then just as she's about to slow down, we get out of her way, and she moves instantly. It doesn't save time compared to her moving right away, but it prevents a lot of time loss.
I got something for you. Last year,
We got to rely on stuff like that in the slow parts of the run, like here.
Most of it.
Also, I have a lot of pistol ammo. Trying to think what I can do with it. Well, I'll treat that as a safety net for Science Lab.
I'm good.
You sure? I mean,
I've said I'm good.
I'm still gonna, because once we get to like the end of the dam fight and then the ranch, we use a lot of our important guns, rifle, El Diablo that we're gonna pick up.
What do you think we're going to have for the woods?
yeah. Okay.
We should have.
Let me just check on my guys real quick.
This is what we need when
Come on.
we're finished with the dam fight. We're gonna have 4 rifle bullets and 2 El Diablo bullets. And then we don't use any revolver until the Science Lab. Oh, here's a new strat. It was one of the newer strats we found. I think I mentioned it earlier.
I don't know what you heard, but you should.
You can only walk here, so we're gonna crouch walk. If you go down here,
It was Maria and her father
we can get
who
ahead of
set up this
Tommy.
place with the idea of
We're, like,
being
racing him right now.
self-sustaining. We had crops and livestock.
and
Remember how we thought no one could live like this
yeah, he
anymore?
ends up walking 2 seconds faster than if you were on the second level and just like trailing him.
Adults take turns guarding the perimeter. We even got an electrified fence.
Also, I'm seeing some questions in chat. I do have the chat open on my phone. Yes, I speedrun Last of Us 2. I haven't done it in a while, but
But it's the world we live in.
I have some of the grounded records for part 2. Not all of them,
You sound like Marlene.
but I have some of them. There's a lot more categories for part 2 because of all the accessibilities, and we treat the run like halves, Ellie and Abby.
These two geniuses
Okay,
are gonna
but
plant the plant.
this area has undergone a revision as well. So we want to walk all the way up until we hit this point right here.
Not.
Then we're,
Oh, I see. Oh,
then
interesting.
we're gonna go back, get the gun, upgrade the right holster. I believe I picked up the financial parts. When I open here, we should have 101 parts.
Good spot.
Let's see. 101. Fire rate.
Apologies, my phone just made a noise.
Yeah, it looks
I
good.
didn't hear it. It's okay.
Yeah, I figured out.
We good to go?
Okay. You know what's funny? I know how much we have, but as I'm picking them up, I never know how much we have at like a certain point. I just know when we get there, I'll have either 76 or 101. There was a thing of 25 parts on the table of the financial district that we picked up. If you skipped those, you can still upgrade the right holster. The revolver fire rate you don't need, but it's nice to have for Science Lab and when Joel wakes up in winter. Okay, everything's reloaded. I have all my health. All right, we are good. Let's do this.
And what follows is one of the best cutscenes in the game. It's kind of my personal favourite anyway. Joel has tried to persuade Tommy to take over transport of Ellie to the Fireflies, but Tommy says nope. But it's also where we learn, by implication really, that at some point in the past Joel roped his brother into, you know, a hunter lifestyle, which is something that Tommy couldn't live with. And they nearly get into a fight, and then suddenly this happens. They come under attack, and Joel has taken damage there. What? What happened?
It'll be all right. The guy with the rifle clipped me. It's okay.
All right.
I'm gonna use the med kit. Do I have to? I'll use it anyway. We don't really need it from this point forward.
Now, this is a
Also-
funny section here. Anything that gets dropped through that door disappears if you don't get through the door.
Perfectly performed final fight there. Okay. So there's our
Nice.
4, and there's our 2. And then more pistol ammo. Can't believe I have 6. That's like not supposed to be a thing.
Yes, that was. Sorry, yet another cutscenes are coming thick and fast here. Yeah, so it's a scene where Tommy kind of sees how close Joel and Ellie are, Because as Ellie is describing what's happened, Joel kind of puts his hands on her shoulders, and Tommy does the same with Maria, which is that kind of mirroring, and he kind of understands what's going on there. So he changes his mind. He agrees to take Ellie to the Fireflies, but Ellie gets wind of it. She kind of hears a little bit of that conversation. She wants to stay with Joel. And yeah, she's a teenager, so she's stolen a horse and she's ridden off, so now we've got to go and find her.
As teenagers do.
Teenage girls.
Okay, this is one of my favorite fights. Over the last year and a half, it's undergone some revisions. One big one. If you use a Molotov in this fight, it prevents the last 2 enemies from spawning in. But here, it has a really nice flow to it.
Too goddamn many.
Amazed at how early you can get that molly throw there.
Yeah, that
It used
Molotov
to-
throw can be kind of generic. It doesn't have to be in a specific spot because the guy taking cover behind there has armor. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, I'd love to ask a dev about this someday. Enemies with armor are way more flammable than enemies without.
Okay, I might try to think of some kind of really corny dad joke pun to go with that, but you'll have to give me some time.
But yeah, killing that guy with the Molotov before we killed that last guy with the bottle and pipe swing prevented 2 more enemies from spawning in at the very end. And when we leave here, we won't have any rifle ammo. We won't have any... no, there was no shotgun ammo dropped.
Area looks clear.
Yeah, but I like this fight as well. We used to use a Molotov here for the bottom 3 guys, but since we used a Molotov in the ranch, we have to use all guns here.
And we're coming up to what is many people's favourite scene. It's one of my favourites as well. The confrontation. So Ellie confronts Joel, having learned from Maria what happened to Sarah. She tells him this isn't a father-daughter thing. It's just that he's the only person in her life who's not either died or left her. And she doesn't want it to happen again. Joel misses the point, unfortunately, and just kind of reaffirms that she's going to be with Tommy now. But look, no, it's not happened. After the ranch scene, after we've killed those bandits, Joel changes his mind because, yeah, it's the right thing to do, isn't it?
Yep. I love how I could do all that before you were done explaining this cutscene.
I know. There's me kind of thinking, how can I say this as quickly as possible?
I know, but no, that's one of the reasons. The ranch is one of my favorite spots for actual combat fighting.
Yeah.
This has really, really nice flow to it when it goes well. No companions. Well, Tommy counts as a companion, and he can get plus sign, but you can just pretend like he's not there. He's not gonna... Well, I was gonna say help, but really, any help they do is basically interrupting.
I don't want him running off.
Okay, this is where we're gonna use our last Molotov, just making sure everything's reloaded. I hope I get a revolver drop here. There's 6 runners here. And 6 dead runners. Beautiful.
Toasty.
So you trigger an alert, you kind of move back and forth a little bit, then go backwards, and they should all gather into like a ball. And then you just throw the Molotov and they're all dead. All right, I don't need shotgun, I need revolver. Nope, there we go. There we go, that's all I needed. Now, why do you not need shotgun? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Because the next strat involves having an empty gun.
Took the wind right out of my sails there.
Can you imagine being a girl by yourself?
What about you?
So the next area, there's I think 5 clickers and a bloater in a very small area. Nothing but really tight hallways.
Shut up.
So serious.
And the door isn't locked. There's just something leaning against it, so we need time to like push it open. So what we do, we're obviously not going to kill all of them. So what we do is we actually get alerted right away, and that moves all the infected away from where we leave the area.
Hey, look.
Now,
Fireflies.
and when I say get alerted right away, I mean right away. If we fire a gun, the enemies move in a very inconsistent pattern, so that's out. If you sprint right away, you don't get alerted fast enough. If you fire an empty gun, you don't get alerted either. But if you combine them into firing an empty gun and then starting your sprint, on the very first step, you're alerted. And it also happens that their AI patterns are very consistent.
There it is.
Also, where the hell are we? We're at the University of Eastern Colorado, which is where Tommy thinks the Fireflies are. So, we're still looking for Fireflies.
Grab that arrow. Grab that bottle. They don't even know we're here. Once we start pressing, now they know we're here, but I still don't see them. I still don't see them. Oh, there's one. But we're gone. I love that strat.
Apart
Does
from
involve
Mr.
an empty
Bloater.
gun.
Look.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There he is. It's weird to say, but that's one of the most consistent strats in the entire run.
Oh, are you okay? What happened in there?
More infected. I'm fine.
Here, come
Weird.
open the gate.
Okay. Up next is, well, it takes a little while to get there, but Science Lab. Science Lab, casually grounded, is one of the more underrated, brutal areas. I don't know how many human enemies there are. There's got to be over a dozen, I think. Combined, like, when you start and then, like, how many spawn in when you get, like, halfway through the area. And they have axes, shorties, rifles, El Diablos. I think everything except for a pistol. It's very, very brutal. But,
I know it sounds a little bit like spoiler alert here, but have we found a consistent way yet to make Ellie get the alert so that you can get down to the door and have it, you know, have the guys disappear?
Fireflies?
Or is it still kind of RNG?
Are you talking about the black screen glitch?
Why would they
No, it's after we've found the voice recorder and we're escaping. There's a way.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes Ellie will get grabbed, and you've just got to get to the door. Has there been anything to make that more consistent?
Well, actually, we don't want it to happen. On easy mode, plus signs on companions will fill in slower than grounded. Grounded fills in much faster. That's one of the negatives of grounded I forgot to mention in the beginning. But, so if Ellie gets a plus sign at all in the science lab, you can't make it to the door in time.
Oh,
So
right, I didn't know that.
We want to prevent a plus sign. And there is a way that... Joel got some air there. There is a way to make it so it's way more unlikely that it will happen.
Right. That was a GTA 5 garbage thing, darling.
Yeah.
All right, we're inside. Come on, kiddo, give me your hand.
Okay.
Thanks.
Now this area right here
Let's
is
look around.
like the whole reason you need 3 revolver bullets. There's 3 enemies that come, like as you're coming down the stairs, those 3 enemies are arriving. And even if you have full health, like there's a guy with a shorty that'll hit you from really far away, but it'll still kill you in one hit. Guy with an axe, that's a one-hit kill, obviously. But like right here, when we come
Maybe it's
back down the stairs, there's 3 enemies that are basically gonna line up, and then you shoot all 3 of them as they arrive. If you don't have 3,
There are no bodies.
I just don't know what to tell you.
Good, right?
I wouldn't know what to do.
Where they went.
You'd have to rely on one of your other guns.
Shit.
But yeah, the strat for making Ellie not get a plus sign. But first, monkeys.
Monkeys.
Monkey! Monkey!
Clickers.
Had to do that.
Okay.
No fireflies either.
So, when you come backwards through this door, and you come like this way, Ellie follows right behind you, and the guy that you brick or bottle will grab her. And once an enemy grabs her, it's basically a plus sign. So if you go around this table to the right, that pushes Ellie back a little bit.
Get the hell out of here.
And then if you throw this bottle at him very early, Ellie should kill him, actually.
Oh, that's nice.
Actually,
Well, not for him.
she did get grabbed. So it's not perfect, but it's better than the other way. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3. That's why you needed 3. This guy, what's he doing? We're in the smoke. We're okay.
Oh, beautiful.
Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, we're good.
Yeah.
Sometimes a glitch can happen right there where,
Oh, that's painful.
yeah, the camera zooms out and it cuts to black and then places you right there. We have no idea why it happens, but it wastes like 11 seconds and you're at the mercy of the game with regards to that. Luckily, you get the stuff back that you used, but that's, yeah, it's weird. That was a really good science lab.
We did
right
have
there.
Sorry, carry on, mate.
That's why you need 3 revolver bullets.
There was a
You're just
very
giving
short. There was a very short cutscene there, by the way. When we got into that door that we opened, we found a voice recorder, which the Fireflies abandoned the UEC, and they've gone to a hospital in Salt Lake City. That's all we know. But we've come under attack from some people here. We don't know who they are. But we do know where we're supposed to go now.
Yep.
Salt Lake City, here we come.
Now, what's pretty interesting here is you can actually do some things while as injured Joel. You can throw a punch. You can still shoot and reload. And I won't show it because it's too slow. But if you attempt to go into your backpack, he'll like try to take it off, but then it hurts too much, so he just puts it back on.
I really enjoy all the detail that they put into this stuff, though.
I know. My favorite part is like as he's getting closer to like fainting from blood loss, like the screen gets more foggy and just like starts to dim a little bit. Like you can see like things are becoming a little bit more out of focus. I've always loved little touches like that, especially in an area like this.
It really is incredible to think that this is a game from 2013.
I know, it's a bargain bin game.
We gotta get you out
If you haven't played it yet, play it. Don't play it on PS3 though. I'm sorry, but
You're
don't.
not okay.
No, it's nothing with the AI or anything, but it's in 720p at 30 FPS. Remastered is 1080p at 60 FPS, or if you have a PS4 Pro or a PlayStation 5, it's either 4K at 30 FPS or 1800p at 60 FPS. I would recommend that one. And there's a noticeable difference.
Oh man. Here, lean on me. Well, can you
All right, the only speedrun strat, well, there's one coming up here, but make sure you're not just randomly firing your gun. As long as the gun is completely reloaded, Joel will wake up in winter with a fully loaded revolver. So 6 bullets. That lasts us the rest of winter.
Where did those bullets come from?
Through Neil Druckmann.
Yes. Bullets supplied by God.
Pretty much. It's the same logic as hanging upside down shooting the runners.
I kind of had my little description of the next cutscene in my
Yeah,
head, and
you can start with
you've
it
just,
now.
yeah, but you just ruined it, mate.
Sorry.
Right. Okay. All right.
I get told that a lot.
Yeah. Do we actually see Joel fall off the horse? No, we don't, do we?
In the cutscene.
No, we don't see it because we skipped the cutscene. Okay. So, yes, we escape the UEC. Ellie is going to kill a bad guy, whoever the bad guy belongs to, we don't know. And this is our last playing with Joel for a little while. We're about to go into the winter chapter of the game, which involves killing a rabbit and wondering if Joel survived, which is the bit that I really hate Ant for now. Is Joel dead? Oh, we don't know. Yes, we do. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Okay, first we're gonna hunt a deer, and normally you have to chase it around this big open area and hit it twice, but it turns out as soon as it spawns in, it actually has a hitbox. This might take a couple tries.
Where'd you go?
Hopefully not.
There you
Got him.
Gotcha.
Whew.
Nice.
That's a fun strat to do when you're on record pace. Because if you miss, that's like 12 seconds lost. And it's faster to just do it again if you miss, because this second shot right here, it takes a little while for the game to recognize it. So you got to wait a little bit for the second shot, and then it does count. And then you just follow it where you're supposed to go.
How are you still alive?
Now, the big question is, what happens if you go over here before you shoot the deer? Well, the deer knocks down this little pathway here. It knocks over the fence. So before, you can't climb out of here, but now you can. Okay, David fight, coal mine. First, I want to mention that the main benefit of running on PlayStation 5 unpatched,
Everything's cool.
so far everything has been pretty much the same, except for right here. On PlayStation 5, the scene would have loaded in right now. But here, we get a 12-second loading screen. Sorry.
In which case, so that gives me an opportunity to say, we've just met a guy called David and his friend James. Ellie is kind of, pointing an arrow at David. So James has been sent off to get medicine and a syringe in exchange for the deer, which seems fair.
Fair trade.
Yeah.
This fight can be bad. It has a nice flow to it if you know what you're doing, but one little mistake. All right, so far so good. David will give me 6.
You weren't kidding. You're a better shot with that.
And there's 2. Now, I wanted to kill these guys, like, as soon as they hopped in before David gave me 6, because I got down to 0 and then I killed them. So they each dropped 1, and then David gave me the 6. So it worked out. Also, if you do that strat exactly the way I did it, David will start pushing that green shelf like as early as possible. All right, the rest is just killed with rifle ammo.
Maybe they followed you and your friend.
I just didn't want to miss. All right, perfect. The ending of that area is always just a little bit slow. But as long... Someone dropped a... There it is. Okay. Oh, there's another. Okay. That was sweet.
Why not, you know?
Whew. Okay, good start. Good start. And because we had 3 when we get here, David gives us 3 more. That arrow shattered. Oh, well.
Ellie's abilities with, guns, bow and arrow, all that kind of stuff, they are what they are. They don't get upgraded at all.
You're going?
Never set foot in this place.
Great.
Okay. I once did an 18-hour practice session in one sitting on that area. So if I ever mess it up again, it makes me angry.
18 hours?
You all right?
in one sitting. That was like a couple years ago, but it made me find the strat that I still do there. The inconsistent part was like enemies sometimes dropping ammo versus 100% of the time dropping ammo. It used to be if you used an extra, something, that the last clicker would drop 2. Well, sometimes he would drop nothing at all. So I found a way to make it 100% consistent that he always drops 1. And that was good enough for me. Okay. Now, because we sprinted as early as we possibly could there, sometimes there's a glitch that makes a clicker come into this area, and it's not supposed to be here. So by firing that empty gun into the corner there, it should prevent that clicker from literally glitching over the wall into this area. I'm listening for it. This is where you just gotta listen. Yeah, we're good. So that firing that empty gun wasn't for nothing. It was to prevent a glitch. Okay. Now this, we always cut it close with this guy here. Oh yeah, we're fine.
It's not every day I hear a speedrunner say we're doing something to prevent a glitch from happening.
What about that?
Yeah, it is very, very weird. Those clickers can literally glitch through when they're not supposed to.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, I need quiet just for the start of this fight. So.
Yeah, no shit.
Right there, I just did something. I hit triangle at a very specific spot. That you have to hit that triangle prompt because it will start the encounter. But if you do it at a specific time, it skips dialogue. And then if I do this, I'll need quiet. If you throw that nail bomb as soon as he says Earth, and then throw that Molotov. Oh God. No, I did it again. No, it's fine. It's fine. I can just do it again. It's all right. I mistimed a square prompt by half a second. I'm supposed to hit it as soon as he hops in. The fight can still be performed exactly the same. It's fine. It's just costing us time. I did that in my first 249 run.
See anything?
All right, whatever. Hold on. Okay, same thing. Okay. Right there. Okay. So you can hit square and stab them as soon as they hop down. And that nail bomb Molotov combo killed 4 infected. And it also made it so that guy hops in as early as humanly possible.
Now, do you remember when we met the first bloater in Billstown as Joel? And it took a Molotov and a couple of shots to the back to kill it. A lot of hard work. Thankfully,
We're doing fine.
Yeah, the bloater has a weakness here. Ellie's rifle is a little bit stronger compared to Joel's because, well, you're playing as a much weaker character. Right, he didn't drop any.
God, that animation there.
I know.
Oh my word, that
David. More plus signs. Okay, rifle, brick. Get this one. Throw.
Oh, scary. Right, yes, so how many shots does it take to kill a bloater? Yeah, okay,
1.
I'll do.
1 shot to the foot.
Anything below the knee with Ellie, and that will do.
I'll take notes. I'm putting that in my notes right now.
No one fixed
Yeah.
it.
Even if you have a fully upgraded rifle as Joel, I think it's 3 hits. It's not as impressive as that. 1 shot to the foot. 1 hit kill.
Cutscene time.
All of that was super impressive just to watch.
It was.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Right, David actually kind of knows who Ellie is because it was his men at the science lab who attacked us. And when they got back, they evidently described the man and the girl. But he's let Ellie go once she's been given the medicine. So she returns to Joel, gives him the antibiotics, and falls asleep, and blah 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 blah. When she wakes in the morning, it's very, very obvious why David let her go, because he's used her to track down Joel. So they followed. So now she's kind of running away, hoping that they will chase her and forget about Joel with any luck.
Okay, I just did a strat there. Normally, if you run across an enemy that's running towards you, they'll hop onto the horse and try and like grab Ellie off. But if you turn the camera around as an enemy hops on you and mash sprint, a guy hops on and then just hops right off. Using a little camera change to our benefit there. Okay, now this is important because any damage Ellie takes here gets carried over to the next time you play as her. So it's super, super important she does not take any damage at all, because she loses health at a much higher pace than Joel.
Oh, man. No.
But we do need to kill at least 3 here, most of the time 4. And we have the supplies to do that.
That poor horse.
I know. David has like a creepy line when you're... Hold on. There's some downtime right after this. Let me just do this. That's the new strat I was explaining, by the way.
Oh, yes. That's a nice route, isn't it?
Consistent, too.
Where do I go?
Just need to know that he's going to show up.
Yes, it's that second guy there not appearing, which always used to be a killer for me.
Okay, that guy was supposed to be walking this way, so that cut it a little close. Whatever, we're good.
Here we go.
Okay, well, with regards to the callus thing, the callus is the name of the horse. When you're fighting with David, if you fight him, like, long enough, David has, like, some creepy dialogue. And he's like, really sorry about your horse. I hope you take good comfort in knowing we won't waste any part of him.
Not even the,
Wow.
not even the hooves.
Yeah.
Rescued that. God.
Here's something funny. If you hold down sprint here, Ellie T-poses. But, yeah.
Here we go.
I always like to show that off.
I got this.
It only works there. Got a lot of that kind of stuff in this game. Okay, one more stretch, the lodge. So, it's weird. If you sprint towards them in any other direction, you would get alerted. But if you sprint and leap over this, I don't know, bench, I guess, you won't get alerted, even if you sprint all the way through. Nice.
I don't want to get trapped in here.
Literally, you approach them any other way, you get alerted. It's super weird. Okay.
I'm gonna kill you.
No, you're not. And
Oh, where is he?
get him. Then you go. This is one spot you have to kill everybody inside this building. Otherwise, this triangle prompt on the door wouldn't show up. Oh, it's David. Oh, no.
Hello, David. Nice to see you again. Cutscene time. Right, so Ellie wakes in a kind of, I don't know, improvised prison cage, cell, whatever. To see James chopping up a human body, which is not what you want to see as a 14-year-old.
Or at any age.
Or at any age, actually. Yeah, okay. I'm going to all right, I'll include 17. God's sake.
I'm not a teenager anymore. If I see that, I'm probably going to be a little bit concerned.
But David's group, they survive at least partly through cannibalism. So James leaves David, arrives with food. He tries to persuade Ellie to join his clan. To join his group, but she refuses. She tries to grab the keys through the He's kind of right there at the edge of the cage. He tries to grab the keys, but she doesn't. But she does break his finger.
Which is actually, he has like a splint on his finger in the next cutscene, which is nice,
Yeah.
like continuity.
Yeah. And he leaves, but not before hinting that she may suffer the same fate as the body on the table. So Joel is now going to interrogate these two guys
That guy,
to find out where Ellie is.
David's voiced by Nolan North. That guy that Joel is dragging away, Nolan provided the motion capture, but they
But not
changed
the
the voice
voice.
because he sounded either too much like Nathan Drake or David.
Yeah. So yeah, Joel interrogates the two guys and to find out where Ellie is. We then see her being woken up by David and slammed onto this, I don't know, butcher's table. Is it a butcher's table? I don't know. But she bites him, claims that he's now infected, which distracts both him and James. She kills James, gets the machete into his throat, manages to escape, and yeah, she's on the run now.
Okay, so far so good. This is all fair. Oh God. Nope. If you're far enough to the left, they won't see you. Okay, that was perfect.
Where'd I go?
Yeah, a lot of that movement was pretty specific. Like when I ran under that tree, that down tree or something, you have to hang to the right because you want to get alerted, which empties the enemies out of the next area. But if you're not hanging really far to the right, you'll get shot. You don't want that. And then you wait for that one guy to hop through the window, and then yeah. There are a lot of like very specific movements there. It's not as simple as just running through the area. There's a lot of specific things.
How did you do it?
Also, another console difference I mentioned, on PlayStation 5, this fight starts normally every time. But if you try to start this fight on PlayStation 4, the fight glitches out, David spawns outside, and you're stuck. A way around that is to restart encounter as soon as you hop into the building, and that fixes it.
It's weird that there's so many differences in between.
Those are
bugs
pretty
and
much
stuff.
the only two console differences. There are more differences with patches, but those are like the only two I mentioned. When you start the coal mine fight, like fighting with David, there's no loading screen versus a 12-second loading screen. And then PlayStation 5 fixes this fight, like bugging out at the start. I wish I could show it to you, but it wastes a little too much time. I love the third stab here. Just run around, third stab.
That did bring about a question when you were talking about the patches. How hard is it to down patch on the PlayStation versus something like Steam?
Well, I'm not sure how it works with Steam, but with the console, you have to uninstall the game, pop the disc out, pop it back in, and then when the game's installing, you just go into downloads and cancel the patch. The game continues to install, but on the original version, and that's it.
This is pointless. I can't see a thing.
Just keep searching. She comes through here, we gotta get her.
All right, I should be in the clear. This guy will miss both of his shotgun shells that he fires at me. All right, I kill him. This guy will run away to the right. And I am in the clear.
Nice.
Perfect.
Very nice. That was a pretty good winter, I think. Besides mistiming the square on that one runner, everything else was really good. Winter's like my favorite chapter, both casually and speedrunning. We call this the pinata room. There's a bunch of dead bodies. Dead, freezing, hanging bodies, which you would otherwise just have to slowly walk through. We need a new name for that. But if you swing, like just as he starts to slow down, the momentum takes him through, and then he like never slows down. I think we need a new name for that place.
This is, I mean, there's no gameplay here really. You just kind of
Well, if you do
crawling
nothing,
towards. You're just crawling towards this machete. So, just a little bit of what happens in the cutscene that follows this, but in relation to something else. So Ellie is going to work her way towards the this machete. Once she grabs it, she's going to attack David and basically, am I allowed to say that she's going to murder his face to death? Is that not too graphic?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've said it anyway, so it's too late. So what are you going to do? Prosecute me? No. But seriously, she kind of just does David to bits with the machete.
Yeah.
Joel arrives, and, you know, Ellie has kind of lost it at this point. And Joel takes her into his arms. And what's really great is the fact that he says, as she's kind of breaking down, he says, "Oh, baby girl." When, at the beginning of the game, he puts Sarah to bed, he kind of moves a little lock of hair off her head and says, "Good night, baby girl." And it's that baby girl thing. It's the moment here when Joel has actually accepted Ellie as being, you know, an equal to his daughter. Anyway, we move on to spring, and we have reached Salt Lake City.
Yeah, it's weird how they kind of divide this game. It's not weird that they divide it into seasons, but just the amount of time per season. Summer is like
What?
from the moment
It's
it's 20
half the
years later until you arrive at the dam. Then it's fall, and then winter, and then spring. Like, in terms of speed running, and I think casually too, the entire summer chapter is like 2/3 of the run, and then fall, winter, and spring is the other third.
Yeah. Yeah, I was guessing at roughly half, but I think you're probably closer to the truth there.
What do you say? Huh?
Maybe more so casually. Yeah, there's a bit of downtime here, so let's do just a little bit of plugging. My Twitch and my YouTube both are Anthony Caliber. I just finished a tutorial that'll show you how to run it the way I ran it today without what happened in sewers and winter. But yeah, I divided it into 8 parts. There was 21 hours of footage. I wanted to include everything that could possibly happen in every area. So if you're interested in giving the speedrun a try, because it's very rewarding, I feel. I always get a good feeling when I complete a run and it was good enough, because records now are really hard to come by.
Here we go.
But yeah, we also have a speedrunning Discord as well called, well, I don't know if it has a name. It's speedrunning Discord. It's in the description of every single one of my YouTube videos.
Ellie?
What?
A ladder. Come on.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's something really satisfying when you get that PB or you're in that zone when it comes to speedrunning.
Yeah. Yeah, my favorite part of speedrunning definitely is like when I know I'm getting close. Like maybe I've spent like a month or 2 at it, and I can feel like something good is gonna happen soon. I know it's coming.
Yeah.
There's no better feeling, and then when it actually happens, there's nothing better than just, you know, putting time into something and then seeing it pay off. That's with anything.
You gotta see this.
What is it?
Hey, I'm gonna have to do hospital without a shorty. That was so weird. Which is fine. All I use it for is shooting a fire extinguisher. It's the same thing that I did in the science lab. I shot a fire extinguisher that was on the wall.
Hurry up.
And it acts like, I didn't explain it in the science lab, but that acts like a smoke bomb. When you're inside of it, you can't be hurt. I mean, maybe a blind bullet, but like, enemies will not attack you when you're in the smoke that it produces. And when you're in the hospital, it's definitely a strat I have to do, but it's a lot easier to shoot it with shorty than a pistol or revolver. Shorty has like a wider spread.
Oh, man.
Little cutscene here, not long. Joel, at this point, he tells Ellie that they don't have to go to the Fireflies. They can just, you know, they can turn around, they can go back to Tommy's and, you know, carry on with their lives. As far as Ellie's concerned, they've come too far. You know, if it's a case of all she's got to do is give a blood sample, then, yeah, let's get it done.
Yep. Crouch.
This place takes me back.
Okay, so the next area is the last big infected encounter in the game. It's the tunnel. I never actually counted how many infected there are. Maybe 6 or 7 runners, 4 or 5 clickers, and 3 bloaters actually. Now I only have an arrow. Well, I'll have 2 arrows after this. 2 revolver, a bottle, and a smoke bomb. How am I going to get through the tunnel with just these? Well,
I'm sorry.
luckily, tunnel is one of those places you don't have to kill anybody to make it past. As long as you're in stealth mode, the triangle prompt at the end to boost Ellie up and drop like a rock to climb up, or a crate. You can leave without having to kill anyone. But we are going to go loud right away. We need 2 arrows, 1 for later on and then 1 for the hospital. Okay, so here we go. It's not a perfect strat. It can fail, but I use it in my runs, so I trust it enough. Here we go. We're gonna fire a gun. That doesn't trigger an alert, but it does allow us to sprint. Now, Ellie can get a plus sign in this area very easily, so we're gonna climb up here. She's gonna follow me, and we don't have to worry about her getting plus signed. They're just running away. That kind of corners infected into these cars. And get a bottle for this runner.
Sometimes that runner isn't there. You've got to be very wary of that.
Uh-oh.
Here, let me push you up there.
All right, we're good. That clicker was supposed to walk into the smoke. He barely did. But yeah, when infected are in the smoke, they kind of lose their alert status.
It's because they can't see, even though they're blind.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then this is another spot where if you restart encounter on the other side, you get your stuff back. See? We just used a smoke bomb, but we got it back.
Don't think they can reach us now.
Now, why would you possibly allow that in a glitchless run? Well, first of all, the black screen science lab thing can happen, and we allow that because you're at the mercy of the game there. You get the same result, but also right here. That bloater behind us, he has a really, really, really good aim. When you get alerted and land on the other side, the bloater can throw his stuff, whatever it is, at you, and it kills you within like 2 seconds if you're like being affected by it. And if you die on the other side, you get your stuff back too. Again, it's a grounded exclusive thing that can happen. Also, I'm sure there's one person asking, why did you waste those pistol bullets back in the bus depot before the giraffes? If you have 0 and then you restart encounter right there, you get 5. It's just a way to play it a little more safe in case something bad happens in the hospital. Okay, I love this strat right here. So, if you boost Ellie over, that clicker will come and attack her. If that clicker is walking on the other side, you can't boost Ellie over. But if you shoot it and then turn the camera up and mash triangle, you can hit the triangle prompt with the clicker active on the other side. And he's kind of bugged out a little bit. If you run into him, he will not kill you. If you swing at him and stand next to him, you'll still die. But what we're gonna do is use him to sprint here, because it would otherwise be a very slow jog. That's all we're using him for. And then to sprint the rest of the way, we have to get him back in this room. That's why we have an extra arrow. But yeah, we get to do all of this movement here in a sprinting animation instead of a slow, non-encountered jog. Even the climbing animations are faster. And then when we put this pallet in the water and get Ellie across, there's 3 different things, 3 different places the clicker can be. So we need to see which one we get and then distract him accordingly. We want to lure him into this room.
Get on.
Even Ellie's faster. She's in her sprinting animation as well.
I'm on it. Careful.
I got you.
I don't hear him, which isn't good. Hold on. Yeah, we got the worst of the three things, but I can still make this work. So we use an arrow. It turns out, even though it's not really the case, an infected will react to an arrow more than a bottle. So that arrow is going to lure him over, and then right before Ellie drops the ladder, we throw the bottle. That clicker is going to come into this room.
Damn ladder broke off the wall.
Now what?
Here he comes. Who's a good clicker? You are.
And the thing is that clicker cannot attack because there just is not an animation for it attacking while Joel is carrying the ladder.
No, but you can even just run into him. Again, the only way he can kill you is if you swing at him. He'll start flailing his arms like a madman, and then that can kill you. But yeah, if you just walk into him like normal, he won't kill you. Okay. He's eventually going to leave here, but what all that crazy stuff that we're doing, this is the benefit right here. We're sprinting. Sprinting, sprinting, sprinting. That's all it was. We do that all the time. Yep.
Has there ever been a debate on whether someone would end up calling it a clicker or a remote?
Oh.
Great.
You're gonna catch me?
I got you.
Clicker or remote. You know, I never heard that one.
Let's get the hell off this thing.
Very nice.
Let's go sit here and wait for chat's reaction.
I thought you were going to mention something about the title name. Like, oh, this stuff, why don't you call it... I saw one in chat. Why don't you call it No Major Glitches? If we did that, we would have to allow more things. And then there's less of a difference between glitchless and any percent. Because there is an any percent category for this game. You can skip entire chapters and buildings. Saves like 20 minutes over a glitchless run. But they're kind of difficult to pull off, and they're a few and far between. Okay. Hospital. Dino?
Yes. Okay, so Ellie is going to try and fail, unfortunately, to open this door. She's going to fall in the water. Joel is going to swim through the water, try to revive her. And as he's trying to do that, he's going to get knocked out by what turns out to be a Firefly soldier. He wakes up in the hospital to see Marlene. Yes, Marlene has done the journey. Now, he and Ellie both believed that she'd just be giving a blood sample, but it turns out that this growth on Ellie's brain, which is a thing of interest, they have to harvest it, but it's going to kill her. So, yeah. So Marlene tells the soldier who's in the room with them, this guy, Ethan, to march Joel out of the hospital. If he tries anything, kill him. That's not very nice, is it? So it's not Joel's plan. He's gonna, he kills Ethan, and he is now going to rescue our baby girl.
Yep. Okay, gotta do this shot without a shorty. You'll see why I prefer a shorty over a pistol. There we go. I got it.
Nice.
It's just a little more nerve-wracking with the smaller reticle. The only thing I was stressed about. Okay. I'm trying to think what else about this area. Nothing much. There's a lot of like start your sprint, stop, start up again. I explained this area really well in my tutorial. Okay, even going to the left of that beam is part of the strat. They shot the fire extinguisher. Right there. All right, here's the smoke bomb we got back from the tunnel restart, and kind of, they heard me. What? This is different. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay.
You're fine. You're fine.
Oh. Dude, I have never been alerted that early before. Okay. Jeez. I heard a shotgun blast halfway through the hallway. That's never happened before.
There. That's 2.
Yep.
Sweet Jesus.
Okay. Operating
Hello,
room.
Jerry. No, call him Jerry. You can call him Jerry. Because we all know now.
I'm sure that will have no repercussions later on.
No, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be fine for about the first hour, I think. Ooh, God. No matter how hard you try, you can't escape your past.
Yeah. Also, I like this little touch right here. I'm gonna waste a little time, but run! You're nearly there. Don't quit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, right behind me. Okay.
That's also in one of the earlier hospital bits, though, isn't it? That's there as a. I think it's the third. There's 3 rooms in a corridor, and it's there on the 3rd one at the end.
I actually don't know.
Yeah, it's in an area where there's no enemies at all. You can just, wander around and pick things up. Right, so anyway, yeah, Joel here, he's managed to get Ellie. But Marlene, as he gets out of the elevator here, Marlene is there. Yeah, and she talks her rubbish. I'm not even going to go into that. So he kills her and escapes with Ellie. Now, she wakes up in the car and as she comes around, she asks him what happened. He can't tell her about Marlene, so he invents a story about the Fireflies having given up on finding a cure.
We're walking.
Yeah. So that's all she has at the moment.
I don't think she ever believed him.
Straight shot through here.
All right.
It's actually kind of pretty, ain't it?
Well, she's woken up in the back of this truck still wearing a surgical gown, so she's probably thinking,
Want your head going?
you know what? Something went down.
Got it.
Feeling my age now.
One more restart encounter. When the last cutscene starts, that's when the timer ends.
Don't think I ever told
I
you,
I said before we went
Sarah
live,
used
if
to
I
think
if I
like
get
this.
any time above like a 252, something really bad must have happened. Well,
hate to tell you, it would have been.
but that's the
would've
thing
been
with this
different.
speedrun. Mistakes
really
in this
would've
game cost you minutes,
I know she
not
would
just a few seconds here and there.
Are we
I mean-
playing out the last cutscene, by the way?
I want to show off a glitch afterwards.
Okay. Okay, we'll skip the
Yeah.
cutscene. So, at the end of this, Ellie just confronts Joel to say, everything that you said about the Fireflies, is that actually true? And he just sort of says, yeah, I swear.
And time. I'll take it. I will take it. If you think about it, I slowed some things down. Hold on, let me load up the area because there's a long loading screen. I'll give myself 2 tries to get this. Hold on. I did some things slower. I picked up a med kit in the beginning of the slums to play it safe, which I think worked out in the end. I got that shotgun shell in Financial District. I played it safe in some areas. That cost me some time. But really, if I think about the run, all I think about, well, the last part of Graveyard was bad, but that part's always bad. Sewers and coal mine, I think, were the only mistakes in the entire run, I think. Yeah. So besides taking some areas a little slow and safe, 2 mistakes the whole run.
Yeah. I feel bad. I feel happy because I didn't went through the entire run without making an entire Owl City reference.
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
They're a one-hit wonder band with the song Fireflies.
Yeah.
I don't listen to that
Oh
much.
yes,
I don't listen to that much music.
Sorry, can I do a little bit of song trivia here? We're talking about songs that mention the Fireflies. All Time Low had a song called Tidal Waves, and there's a middle 8 section or a mid section where they talk, the lyric says, "Spread your lies like fireflies." And you think, what the hell does that mean? What the hell? It doesn't mean anything at all. But earlier, in the intro to the game, on the opening credits, it says winter supplies are at an all-time low. And all-time low cottoned onto that and said, thank you very much. We're going to mention the Fireflies in our song. Yeah. Bet you didn't know that. I bet you didn't even want to.
I don't know a lot of things. Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta get going with this. Here's the glitch.
Go back inside.
I'll give myself 2 tries to get this. I lower the frame rate so I can get more inputs. I didn't get it. One more try.
Yeah.
If you mash triangle fast enough, you can actually get off the horse here. And then you can do the entire rest of the way on foot. Again, in 30 frames per second, you can get a few more inputs in. This is so worth it, trust me.
And while we're just waiting for this to load up, guys, I just want to say thanks everybody for watching. This has been tremendous fun to get together with Ant again to do a run. Really, really enjoyed this. We've had a difficult couple of years, haven't we? Let's be honest. It's not been nice. And it's, you know, this has been, as Anthony said, this has been like getting the band back together. I will be off just after this, obviously, because we're just at the end of, well, I've got nothing to say on this glitch thing. I just want to say to everybody who's watched and to Anthony and to all the GDQ staff, thank you. And also have a brilliant holidays, you know, make the best of it that you're allowed to. It's kind of tough at the moment, but, you know, just
I guess...
Have a great festive season.
Well said, man.
Easy.
There.
Yeah.
Do I have time for one more try? I have to do this from the main menu. Just one more.
Okay. In
My
the meantime,
apologies.
while we go ahead and get all that reloaded because there's a little bit of load time, are there any extra shout-outs, communities, or anything else along those lines that you would like to give out?
Well, thanks again to Dino for doing commentary again. We've been doing this for like
25 years. No, 25.
Yeah. Dino also speedruns the video game A Way Out, which is from the same developer as most recent Game of the Year winner, It Takes Two. He was a record holder for a while, but because now of console differences, it's kind of impossible. I remember you saying that before. But he does really good work with that, so I'd give him a follow as well. And if you want to learn these games, because there's more than just Last of Us. Now there's Last of Us 2. There's also the DLC Left Behind. Any percent for Left Behind is a 5.5-minute speedrun. And Glitchless takes like 28, 29 minutes for the record. You know, it's not just this. There are easy mode, any percent category. There are a lot of categories, a lot of different games now. And yeah, if you've played this before and you love it like I do, I'd recommend joining the speedrunning Discord. I don't have a link with me right now, but it's in the description of all of my YouTube videos. So, yeah, and...
Why is this taking so long to load?
It's because it's unpatched. Loading screens take forever.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I can't mash fast enough. I don't know why. I can't do this from here either. I don't think I can.
Oh, it's not liking you, is it?
Okay. I'm doing it one more time, and then I'm trying to think if I have a video that I can show. No, we would just go offline.
If it fails, Anne, the other one that's really nice is that bit in Pittsburgh where you can kill Ellie. That's always funny as well.
In Pittsburgh? Oh, you might know something that I don't.
Yeah, you know, when you right, you've done the first You've done the first part where you see the couple get killed. You run upstairs and you drop down after taking out the two guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could show that. Yeah, that's quicker and easier. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. It's right at the start of the financial fight. Sorry, there's a lot of glitches in this game. I have made 3 glitches in the Last of Us videos on my YouTube that are combined about 8 or 9 hours. Yeah. Maybe someday I could show off a glitch exhibition here. That would be a lot of fun. I could fill in like a 4-hour time gap. No question. Maybe someday. Yeah.
The only question with showing off that financial district thing is where you have to load in. So you wouldn't have a save file, would you, for the right moment?
No, there's a glitch I think that you don't know about because it's new. That green tent in the back, you can arrow up it and go over the wall. All right, one more try.
Easy.
Got it! Yes!
There we go.
Oh, good man. Good man.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you mash fast enough, you can get off the horse. You can get off the horse. And then we're just gonna follow Tommy. If this were Last of Us 2 right now, whoever I would be controlling would have an asthma attack by now. There's a game mechanic in part 2. If you've sprinted for longer than 6 seconds, they're just like, Joel? Oh, he is good to go. He could cross the whole country like this.
Stubborn kid.
Now, you're obviously not supposed to do this. I love how Tommy isn't questioning this either. Like, all right, we'll just take one horse. Okay.
We had Joel earlier just get a lot of cardio. Joel's all about that cardio.
Yeah. Okay, well, one thing, you can get a nice view of the area here. I love this. It's like, you have not unlocked this character yet.
That's Noel. Oh,
Okay.
Christmassy theme, Noel. Oh, all right.
Oh, God.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, here we go.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, it gets even better. Let's swap to like bottles and bombs here. Wait for it.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, looking good, Joel. Looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just, comes back like nothing had ever happened.
Look at the fingers if you can. They're like sausage links.
Let's be honest, you couldn't do that with a 9-iron. Oh, sorry.
Oh. I'm sure that's the face he made, though. Now, this is way better with photo mode, but I don't have the latest patch installed. You can freeze it in the middle, and you just get the weirdest looking things. It's fantastic. That's pretty much all there is. I can maybe show off... Actually, yeah, this is good. One more thing. So, this is one of the spots
God, what
in
is that?
His leg just, just moving around.
Joel and his big blue long thing.
And then it eventually just fixes itself. But yeah, when you're finished with the dam fight, which was the spot just before this, you get all of your health back. And I always wondered why. There is no time lapse. Like normally, like Joel takes a nap or enough time has passed, he gets his health back. But this fight was like maybe 4 or 5 minutes before this, but he gets all his health back, and I never knew why. Well, I know why. It's because when you're on the horse and you leap over this to start the fight, there's a Molotov thrown at you, and it actually deals a little bit of damage, just a little bit. So if you... Gotta get it down without killing him. I think that's good enough. If you go over this without any health, Oh, I needed one more bar. Look at that.
Too goddamn many.
He would just die. Same. Same. He would just die, but it looks a lot funnier from on the horse. I needed one more pixel of health. Oh man.
It was still great to watch.
I know. It would have looked a lot funnier. Do I have time for one more? This one won't take nearly as long as the other.
Are we talking about the
Definitely.
the Ellie thing?
Yep.
I love it.
This will be quick because there is like a new glitch that was found that skips the entirety of the fight. You just need a bow and with some precise pausing and camera turning. It's easy to perform, but yeah, I'm gonna show them the Ellie skyrocket thing.
I guess in the meantime, while it's loading, if anyone was interested in wanting to know more about the run, if they wanted to, like, oh yeah, I want to learn, I want to do a Last of Us speed run, where, you know, we talked about the Discord, I know we talked about speedrun and stuff like that. Is there a direct link on speedrun.com that they could just kind of go straight to?
I think in the guides for the campaign, there's a playlist that I made that has literally everything you're looking for. It has tips and tricks. It has the tutorial that I just made, but even more than that, it has little things like a bullet that travels through something like a window or railing or a gate and then hits you actually does double damage compared to it not traveling through that stuff. There's a running glitch like this. I recommend that playlist. It should be in the guides. Okay. Now that should be good. So we just despawn the fight. But if you just do that normally, Ellie dies behind you. So you need to pause it as soon as everything unloads. And it skips the entire fight. Now what's cool about this is you can do it again. And there's a little loading screen. All right, this will take like 30 seconds.
Do you know how to switch it off?
I do.
Okay,
So there's something else here. When you trigger the next scene, which is where I fired 4 arrows at the enemies, if you put the camera backwards into this building, it despawns, it unloads the area. And then there's a funny result with Ellie. Okay, I'm climbing over, so. That should be good, so Ellie doesn't die. You can even see her, I think. Yeah, she's up there. Okay, so if you go over here, Ellie spawns right next to you, and then...
Whee! Whee!
It's awesome.
I like how Ellie fell down a little bit, like she just stepped on a trampoline and just, you know.
Yeah.
That's what you call, that's what you call elevation.
Ellie, nice. That's the official name of that. Okay.
Elevation.
And it also skips all the enemies.
Yeah.
Close.
Oh, God. All right, that's all I got.
All right, well, thank you both very, very much for showcasing The Last of Us. And don't forget, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have The First Step featuring Castle Crashers Co-op, followed by How to Train a Speedrunner with The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge. But that's not it for GDQ Hotfix tonight. We got Parasite Eve coming up next from Speedruns from the Crypt. Stay tuned.